Yes.
Anyone remember this?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tales on Tap. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are back for Aerilon, A Destined Journey. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute, but we are back, and it is not just myself. We are all back at the table.
We're here!
I never left.
Hello!
Dan has been sat here since the last
I've been
episode.
here the whole time.
That's it. Like, every time we go, okay, and that's good night from us, we just switch the light off, and then Dan just sits in his room.
That's true, actually. Of all the people here, you are the only one who has not been on Tales on Tap every single weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Damn.
But we are back, and we hope that, one, you've missed us, absolutely rightly so, but because we have missed you. But we are back for Aerilon, A Destined Journey. We're about to jump straight back into the main campaign, if we can remember where we actually left off, which is fine, because a quick recap from Evan will sort us all out. But before we jump into tonight's session, a few quick announcements. The first announcement is from me as a bit of an apology. Typically, we would upload our videos to YouTube every Sunday, but I have not done that. So, you will get two videos dropping. So you'll get this one this Sunday, and I'm going to aim to get the other one out on Friday. So the episode from last week, which was the collaborative one shot, the second episode of who knows how many, is going to be dropping on Friday. We aim to get that final episode recorded soon.
Final, Dan. Final.
I am.
Session 2 of 2. Oh, wait, no, maybe not.
Look, I don't think it's fair on me, you, or the audience if I lie to you right now. So we're going to say episode 2 of Who Knows. But we're going to try and aim to get that wrapped up as soon as we get all those wonderful people available again. Yeah. So let's go through a few of tonight's announcements so that we can get straight into the action. Han, do you want to tell us about one of our wonderful sponsors, please?
Of course. We are sponsored by our good friends at Awfully Queer Heroes, two incredible individuals who produce modules, subclasses, spells, NPCs, maps, the like, to enhance your D&D and TTRPG experience. So far, I've been harping on about this for a little while. A Tale of Two Queens, their Kickstarter that is currently live now, currently has 169 backers. Nice. But be sure to go and head over there and show your additional support. You know, the rewards are obviously tiered as per Kickstarter standards. You can get a physical copy, just a digital copy, or just contribute as much as you can. If you can, I already have. I'm very excited for my physical copy to arrive when it eventually launches. But it is a level 16 to 20 D&D and 5e and Pathfinder 2e compatible module, and it has naval combat rules, pirate subclasses, NPCs, the like, maps, tokens, all of that fun stuff, and it's live on Kickstarter for backing now. So if you're interested in any of the other modules the Awfully Queer Heroes provide, head over to their DriveThruRPG or their Patreon page, and the links are down in the dungeon below. And thank you guys for sponsoring us. As always, we love you.
Amazing. Did you write most of that down? Because if not, that was incredible.
No, not really.
That was so good. Well done,
I
you.
wrote 169 backers. Nice.
Nice.
Don't feel bad about ruining that magic number, by the way, because if it ticks over that, you can always just get another 99 of your friends to back the project, and then we're right back.
Right,
exactly.
We're right back at 269.
Exactly. Love
Which is
that.
a much better number.
Love that. Thank you very much for that, Han. Natalie, could you give us a bit of a rundown about one of our other sponsors, please?
Absolutely. Our other sponsor, Valkyrie RPG, that's Valkyrie-RPG. They do beautiful dice, beautiful clothing, beautiful terrain, all things TTRPG related. They were recently at ChillCon over the weekend, so they met loads of you there. They are now back in store as of today, and they have fully stocked on all your favorites, sets of dice. So they're back fully stocked, ready to greet you at their doors. So don't forget to use the Tales 10 at checkout for 10% off. all their stuff apart from subscription boxes, which are already heavily discounted. But for all their details, check out the dungeon below. It's Valkyrie-RPG.
Love that. Thank you very much, Natalie. Dan, do you want to tell us about our third and final sponsor, please?
Every time. I didn't think it'd be... Okay, cool. Our third and final sponsor is for all the combats we do here, if we do them, because we're not a very combat-heavy group at the moment, but when they do come and when they do go, we are sponsored by Tom Kartos Battlemaps. Him and his team create huge and expansive maps for all your TTRPG needs, online and wherever else you want to play it, be it physical or online, because there's only two ways you can do it, really. They're all phenomenal, they're all very detailed, and you also have enemy tokens. That's the word I'm looking for. I've not done this in a while, but he does those as well, and there's quite a lot of them, as well as NPC tokens. Yeah. So I think his link's down in the dungeon, right?
Yeah, exactly right, yeah.
And go down there, find that, get some battle maps, make him happy, make us happy, and have a good time trying to kill your party.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do play via Theatre of the Mind, go buy them, commit them to memory, and then do it that way also.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, cool. Thanks very much, Dan. Evan, would you like to tell everyone what is happening in the world of Tales on Tap social media right now?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to start off with a small apology. My internet is shit right now.
Nice.
It's getting well. I'm working on it, but yeah. So if I cut off, sorry. But yeah, social media. There's a lot going on actually. There's a lot of things in the works that we have yet to.
Okay. Okay, Evan. This is okay.
That's gonna be coming.
Yeah. Okay. I think
very
we're
soon. At least some teasers.
You might want to pause.
Okay.
We'll see. Are we back?
No, not yet. Evan, I'll pick it up from here. There's wonderful things happening on social media. I don't want to cut you off. Evan's going to get very frustrated tonight because this will only happen at very important roleplay moments. You'll see his camera will be absolutely perfect when he's not actually doing anything. And the moment he wants to do something, his camera will cut out, his voice will cut out. But we're going to play through anyway because Evan is back with us. And yeah, but everything happening in the world of social media, we're all over socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on TikTok as well. Please make sure you go and check out all of our social media channels. Hit the follow, hit the subscribe button on all of them to make sure that you are notified of all things Tales on Tap. Evan does a wonderful job every single week of keeping most of them updated so that any updates that we have for you guys at home are always out online so you can find out loads of information about what we've got upcoming, what's happening week by week. Luke also said, Evan, we need to get on MySpace, so we'll put a pin in that. We'll try and get back on there.
Bebo, we're coming to Bebo pretty soon.
Yeah, Bebo as well. We would go on MySpace, but the last time we went on, Tom from MySpace kept messaging us, and we were like, dude, come on now.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, we might go on to LinkedIn. We have plans to rapidly expand into the world of like really high stream social media, such as MSN Messenger. BlackBerry Messenger. That's also a platform we're looking at getting on.
BBM.
BBM. Club Penguin. That's another one we're thinking about.
Habbo Hotel.
Habbo Hotel.
Yeah. Creating a private room in Habbo Hotel.
Yeah. Roblox. We might jump on there just for some.
Yeah, let's go. I'm in for that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's kind of get back on track. So all social media platforms that most people visit, we're already on there. Go and check us out. Hit those subscribe buttons, follows, notification bell to keep up to date with all the social media stuff, and you'll find links to all that down below as well. So make sure you go and do that. Chris, do you want to tell everyone about everything that's happening in the near future?
Sure thing. So as always, you can find this episode in 2 parts on Spotify and anywhere you listen to your podcast, as well as all previous episodes of Campaign 2. The Tales on Tap podcast has those for you, cut down into 2 parts, more digestible for your morning and commutes and stuff like that, and when you're not paying attention to your work. So go and do that. Also, at some point, of course, we are going to have part 3 of a certain amount of parts coming of Aerilon, A Damned Voyage, A Voyage of the Damned, whichever one that is. I always forget.
It could
Which
be
one
either.
is it? It could be either. Pick your favorite.
Whichever one you like, that's probably the one that we're going to release next.
Yeah, cool. And that is everything coming up soon in the future.
You're a liar.
Isn't it? Okay, no, maybe I am lying. There are going to be some very large changes happening here at Tales on Tap.
Mutiny!
I wouldn't go as far as mutiny. No, it's more a temporary resignation, a passing of the torch.
Change of leadership.
if you will. But as we've announced in previous week, our lovely DM and our leader Dan is going to be taking a short hiatus from the DM chair because he's got lots going on with a wedding and a bubba, a little mini DM on the way. And so I am going to be taking the DM chair.
Yeah, you are. Let's go.
And it's going to be for a relatively long-term campaign. Right now, from what we've talked about, it's going to be 4 to 6 months. So you're going to get sort of in the sort of 20 to 25 sessions, depending on how often we have one-shots in between and stuff like that. There will be more information about that in future weeks with some sort of teasery things and some artwork and stuff like that. But it's going to be a full-blown campaign with new characters, with lots of leveling up and mysteries and adventures. And it's going to be a different kind of theme to what you've seen here at Tales on Tap in the past. So look forward to that. Get on our social medias because that's the first place any of that kind of stuff is going to be posted, or probably the first place is going to be our Discord. So make sure you're keeping a look on there. There might already be a little teaser for what I'm talking about on our Discord right now. If you go look, I mean, I don't know. There might be. You'll have to go look.
Who knows?
There is also 2 other videos that is going to be up on our YouTube at some point. We are reviewing the All Three Queer Heroes, aren't we?
2 Queens.
I'm right with this. We are reviewing
we are.
Yes.
I'm not just signing
you're
us up
fine.
for something. We are also possibly getting a couple of videos of Daggerheart. So that should be coming up soon. It'll be straight onto our YouTube channel, so it won't be here on Twitch. But when they are up, we will inform you all to rush over and view.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you very much, guys. So last little bits. If you actually want to come and meet us in person, you've been yearning to wrap your arms around our throats because of the stupid decisions we make on stream. You thought I was going to say come in for a hug then, didn't you? But
You saved it, actually.
If you want to come and meet us in person and you are based in the UK, or you're planning on coming over to one of the biggest UK tabletop gaming conventions that is held here every single year, we will be going back to the UK Game Expo in May. It's the very last weekend of May, the first weekend in June, however you want to think about it, because they follow the same thing. There is 4 of us definitely committed to going to that. One definitely won't be able to attend, so Evan unfortunately will not be able to attend. I believe he won't be in the country at that point. But if you want to come and meet some of us, come and hang out, drink lots of tequila with us. You might,
the day.
I'm
banned from tequila. Sorry.
But if you want to come and see us, we're going to be at the UK Games Expo for the full weekend. So we'll be arriving on the Friday night, and we'll be checking out the full convention on both Saturday and Sunday. If you are planning on going and you do spot us, please come and say hello to us. Please make sure you make
I'm not hard to miss, even though I am short. I've got bright red hair,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
just
That's true.
follow the bright red siren and you'll find us.
Yeah. So if you are going, make sure that if you do, try and let us know in the Discord channel. We'll try and arrange to come and see you all. We are going to arrange a meet and greet session over at Valkyrie RPG stand. We're going to take an hour out of the weekend to go and chill with them. Try and meet some of you guys in person. You can ask us loads of questions about our characters, the campaign, or you can just come and look at all the cool shit that we've spent a lot of money on, which we all said that we weren't going to do last year, and I spent £400. So if you are going, then make sure you do that. As the guys have said, we upload our videos every single week on YouTube. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, then we have a list of your names. We have currently got private investigators looking at your house right now. You know who you are. I'd shut those curtains. First and foremost, it's getting dark. But no, if you just go and subscribe, there's loads of fun stuff on there. All our past campaigns, one-shots, all that kind of fun stuff is on there. And yeah, so let's kick in, shall we?
Oh,
Notes.
yeah.
Loads of cat hair on my mic.
You lucky boy. So let's just roll from the top. Everybody roll me a d20. I forgot which order we were all in. So
Oh, it was
everyone-
only
Everyone but
Evan.
Evan.
Everyone but Evan. Isn't
Oh.
Yes, it was just me.
That's fine.
Really
Evan's
sassy.
not going to be here for the next couple of weeks, so everyone
Same
apart from
here.
Evan can roll.
Okay, no one else needs to roll on this. They got a one.
Okay.
Okay. That was easy. So, Natalie, if you don't mind, make a lot of notes this week, and you will be recapping for us next week.
Awesome.
Amazing. So just before we jump in, everyone that is watching, you don't have to subscribe to the channel. You can click the subscribe button if you want to show some love and support. If not, don't worry. We all know that times are hard, but you can get a free subscription by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account to get one free subscription a month. You don't have to spend it here. You can go spend it and support another TTRPG stream, as long as it's not a Fortnite stream, as we established last week. They are the worst. So, you know, as long as you're supporting someone in the community, that's all that we care about. We just want you to come chill with us on a Tuesday, and yeah, that's all we really want. But yeah, should we play some D&D, guys? Do we know how to play D&D? Are we?
Not now, but let's give it a go.
Let's go! So, if you haven't already, go get yourselves a drink, get yourselves relaxed as we dive into tonight's episode of Tales on Tap.
Tales on top, on top, on top, on top!
Why can't I remember? We've just gotten our new house, a safe place to stay for the night. And sure, the rent was a bit high, but at least it was something that we could call our own. Something that we could make our plans in, away from the guards and the SBC. Where we could relax and live at least a semi-normal life. But all that changed in a blink of an eye, and I think it might have been my fault. I remember the five of us taking a look inside, Kyria walking upstairs with to have a look at the bedrooms, whilst Virgil and Eddie was checking out the downstairs. And I remembered that there was a small garden outside. Beautiful flowers and bushes, plants I've never seen before, and so much potential. I could grow my own little
So those technical difficulties that we were having are now starting. So just bear with us a second.
Bear with a sec.
less far away from.
If any of you guys are fans of dubstep, that's exactly what that sounds like right now. Okay, Han, you ready?
Yeah, all good.
Go.
I could grow my own little sanctuary here, something that would make me feel less far away from home. As we stood there looking out at the project of my dreams, something called to me, and when I looked up, I saw it, the full moon in all its glory. Then everything went dark. I don't know if I went unconscious or what happened, but I remember having some incredibly weird dreams of me running through the streets, but not as me. I had managed to wild shape, I think. I saw my huge paws as I was running through the streets. Was I a bear? A wolf? No, that can't be right. I cannot do that. Only Mum and Dad can wild shape into such beings. At least, according to Grandpa. But then the dreams started to turn into nightmares. I started hearing screams, gurgling sounds, and arrows coming my way. I ran and ran as fast as I could, and then... nothing. When I later woke up, I was in a cabin, in someone else's bed, naked. In front of me was an elven woman with long silver hair. She introduced herself as Eowyn, and she said she was a guardian of the forest. Apparently, I had been found lying on her porch, 2 hours away from Wyndmere, although I don't remember how I got there. But that wasn't the worst of it. Eowyn had told me that when she found me, I was covered in blood, and not my own. Oh, Lorea, what have I done? Aeolin was nice enough to clean me up, give me some food and clothing before sending me on my way. She didn't ask too many questions either, apart from the obvious ones. What had happened? How did I get there? And so on. Luckily, she was fine with me not knowing, and just happy to help. I had started making my way back to Wyndmere when I heard a familiar cackle. And not the good kind either. Goblins. Exhausted, with nothing to defend myself with, they easily overpowered me. And just as I thought I was done for, that's when the Raven arrived. I don't know how he managed to find me. I guess I must have really scared my friends if they sent our only viable option to catching these fluxheads after me, instead of having him stay as a lookout. After dispatching of the goblins, the Raven started asking the same questions as Eowyn, and I did my best to answer, choking on my tears as I did. That's when he told me something I've been suspecting since I woke up. I'm cursed. Lycanthropy. Please, Lorea, help me.
Amazing.
Good job, Pip.
Thank you very
That's
much.
Me as Pip.
That was so good. So, not only did we have what happened to Pim happen in the last episode, the other group also had an eventful time. Does anyone want to do an off-the-cuff recap of what happened then with the other group?
We argued.
Essentially, yeah.
So, the three of us, after Timothy had ran up the wall, started very quickly arguing between the three of us if we should actually give chase, what we should do, talks of what lycanthropy meant, etc. Liana was having issues with it, stuck against a wall, holding her head, clearly affected by it, but not in the same way Pim had. Took Liana inside, make sure it was dark, away from the moonlight, and it seemed to help. And then the three of us seemingly set on getting Pim back before he escaped, out into the streets, Edivir taking to the rooftops like the assassin he is. Me and Kyria doing our best to keep up, me not so much. Yes. Kyria doing wolf calls along the way to try and potentially pull Pim towards us. Didn't seem to hold much as we made our way to the east gate and found out that there was a guard in pieces and
Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
And that's that.
What's that from?
Ghostbusters.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's Ghostbusters.
Blast.
Kyria and Edivir very keen on going over the wall or out the gate to try and get to Timothy. We all, three of us, in deep discussion about how it was going to go down. Eventually, Virgil convinced the both of them to think maybe just a little bit more, and we'll regroup and try again in the morning. Kyria at that point, or I can't remember if it was Kyria specifically or if it was all of us, but had the idea of asking the Raven to go after and watch where Timothy had gone, seeing as he had fled through the gate and seemingly is probably just running straight ahead, which is what we did. At which point we returned to our new home. None of us particularly happy, but at least somewhat together.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Dan. That was really impressive.
Thank you.
That was so good. I actually now remember exactly what happened last week. So last
That's
time.
early.
So yay. So this
Don't
week,
forget.
how will our group overcome the obstacles in front of them? Will Liana keep her cool the following morning, knowing that she is more beast-like than she cared to admit? Will the rest of the group actually find Pim, or was the Raven yanking their chain this entire time? Well, let's find out.
Will Evan keep his internet going?
That's the true question.
No.
We will answer these ever increasingly important questions this evening. We pick up tonight with our group at the house. You all have gained the benefits of a long rest. You all managed to get what little rest and sleep you could. We rejoin the group in the property the following morning. You all have woken, set about making breakfast. Some of you pacing through the house with worry as to where Pym could be, what's happened, trying to formulate plan after plan in your head. You've had no word from the Raven at this point as to where he is, where Pym may be. You are all on the ground floor of the property. At this point, I would say that Virgil is in the kitchen currently, just throwing together a makeshift breakfast with whatever rations and whatever food stuffs you had and could find within the house. It's a very rudimentary breakfast of, crusty loaf, hard cheese, a few tomatoes, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You all gather around the breakfast table for your morning meal.
Edivir just sort of comes down the stairs, looks as if he's just woken up and gotten all his gear on and all his weapons and stuff like that, and just walks down the stairs sort of chanking with his equipment and just comes down and says, "Are we going?"
In the kitchen, you see Virgil kind of very, not absentmindedly pacing, but you can see a mage hand holding up a sheet of paper or sort of pinned it to a wall, and you can see Quill writing things sort of in a formulaic list type manner. And as he turns around to look at you, it's very striking very quickly that he is not wearing any of his gold or his rings, his bracelets, none of his necklaces. Everything is gone, even the makeup. He is as bare as you have ever seen him. And it's a bit odd for him. Even the jumpsuit that he usually wears over has been pulled down and sort of wrapped around the middle. He still has the leather thing on and sort of the dark shirt underneath, but only sort of goes up to his elbows. And he looks very dressed down and slightly like he's trying to be a bit different. And as you walk in, he's got his plan and he just sort of points to the table and says, yes, just get something in you first. I'm trying to think of where I need to go. I need to do research, so it's the library first. And as he continues this, he's just sort of pacing, seemingly absently minding, just grabbing whatever is around, throwing it behind him on the table.
Edivir just kind of takes his hand off the front door knob and walks towards the table and just sort of sits down and watches you fussing. Reaches out and grabs a bit of the bread that's on the table.
As you plunk yourself down, you kind of come face to face with Kyria, who is clearly not able to keep still at all, has the card for the Raven on the table and is just staring intently and occasionally tapping their hands. Their leg is clearly shaking, and occasionally we'll just pick it up and just go, Mr. the Raven, please, just have you found him? Please say you found him.
No word yet, then I'll take it.
Nothing yet, no. Okay, but no word does not necessarily mean bad news, because he would have told us if it was really bad news.
He could just be further away than we imagined. We don't know how fast he can run in that form.
No, if he's a... Oh, I thought you meant the Raven, because he can't run when he's a Raven, because he's a bird.
It's more of a hop.
Bit of a skip, really.
No.
And a very, very long jump.
Diana's at the end of the table and she is very quiet and she is kind of taking in everything you guys are saying, but she's trying to be as sort of small, and she is very withdrawn. You can see she doesn't greet any of you as you come down to the table. She's picking at bits of bread, but she's not really eating. But yeah, she's just very quiet at the end of the table.
Liana? Sorry, obviously it's daytime now. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah. Am I feeling okay?
So
I'm tired.
The three of you look across at Liana, and Liana looks visibly, like, you can see that, like, Liana looks exhausted. Like, this has taken a toll. Liana, you feel exactly that. You are exhausted. You feel like you are, like, there is a weight on your shoulders. You feel lethargic. You feel a little bit of a disconnect somehow from reality itself at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You're still trying to piece together, one, what happened, what impact that has. There's 1,000 questions running through your mind, and you just, as you kind of like get asked this question, it is almost as if there is a delay between Kyria asking and it actually like registering in your head as to what's being asked.
Brain fog sort of thing.
Very much so.
Right, so just on a technical point, I have 1 point of exhaustion now because I got a full night's sleep.
That's
right.
correct.
I'm not sure. I'm tired. I don't know what effect me going outside is going to have.
The noises have stopped, right? I'm sorry I thought to... That was really stupid of me to message in your head when you already had so much going on. I just thought it could maybe override it and have like a big, calming effect, but that's on me. I'm very sorry about that. I misjudged the situation.
Genuinely. After everything that happened yesterday, that's fine. Like...
You're going to want to finish that breakfast and get your strength back up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Food. Right. And she does start putting a couple of pieces of food towards her.
I'll
you do
take
see, though, she is in her full gear, and she has her axe propped up against her thing. So she'd have that wherewithal that she is ready to go, but she's just a little bit...
Sorry, I like that Virgil is extremely dressed down. Kyria is in boxers and a loose shirt, and you two are ready to go to war.
Yeah, love that.
That tracks.
I mean, I'm a wizard. I don't have anything on me anyway.
Essentially, yeah, Virgil is actually ready to go.
Yeah.
He's just...
I have my book. Sort of, as everyone's talking, Virgil sort of turns very quickly with the scroll in hand and snatches it from the mage hands this way and goes, right, I've been thinking since this morning. I think I have a semi-decent plan of what needs to be done. I need to go to the Wyndmere library in the middle city. I need to start doing research on lycanthropy and cures, or potential research on curses and transmutation type things. I will do what I can. I will do my best. Potentially the two of you, because I think it might be better if I go alone to the library. The Mystic Emporium was talked about, potentially a potion or some kind of suppressing antidote, something like that maybe, or they may have scrolls of some kind. The potionist parlor at a push. They're a lot smaller, a lot less intact, but there may be something.
Don't you think that maybe I should go with you, since how this is happening to me? They might be able to... I don't know if any examination needs to take place or something. Maybe they can see shit. I mean, I don't know how this sort of thing works.
Not at the library, anyway. I appreciate the thought, but we are a very well-known group, and we have got a lot of notoriety. I don't know how watched all the different areas are, and I wouldn't want us to all go in asking about lycanthropy when it may have already gone down the line with the Wyndmere Guard and the SBC.
Okay, so library 1.
Yes, for me, library. And then the Mystic Emporium and the Potioner's Parlor, potentially for herbs, potions, anything they may sell that could help. I don't know if it will, but until I've learned more, I can't do more. But I will figure this out. And as he says this, he looks directly at you, Liana. I will figure this out. We are going to sort this. I'm not letting transmutation do things to people anymore, so...
Well, I think at least one of us should post up near the Easter Gate.
I was about to say, I appreciate that, but none of us are going to go after Pim.
I'm going after Pim.
Should we not wait for the Raven's word?
On that, Kyria, perception check, please, as you say that.
Oh,
say whatever you want to say, but perception check once you're ready.
Oh, I've lost track because you asked me to do something, so I'm doing it.
My train of thought.
like character, like player.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got an 18.
An 18. As
Let's
you
go.
like lean in to begin discussing something that somewhere in your head something said, "Hey, wait a second, something might be going on elsewhere." And you kind of like look down, and at the corner of your eye, you see that on the playing card in front of you, the raven's wings are currently like beating. Like there's this illusion happening on the.
It's on vibrate, yeah.
It is.
Just like drops the orange that they were nibbling at, like literally scatters to the floor, just picks up the card, just goes, "Hello?
Hi, Bumblebee.
Yes, Mr. Raven, hi."
Hi. Look, everything's fine. Don't panic.
You have it?
I've found him. Yeah.
Okay,
What's he saying? What's he saying?
has him. Got him. He's fine.
Good.
Where? Ask him where.
Where?
I'll be there soon. I'd rather not say where we are right now. We don't know who may be listening.
How does he know where we live? Sorry. I'm just sorry.
Because
I-
he's
I've been saying
with
that a lot.
Pim.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Right.
But I'm still watching you.
Can we all just remember that a month ago?
A month ago?
Yeah.
Go.
This is so much fun.
Eddie trusted him completely.
Eddie trusts him completely.
You did.
I never trust anyone completely.
You did have a bit of a boner for him, though.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you hear the raven say to you, Kyria, don't worry. Look, he's not in a good way. We'll be back soon.
He's safe, though. He's
That's-
alive?
He's with me. Yeah, he's safe.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Thank you.
I assume that obviously you've had eyes on the property since I left. You made sure that obviously we were, because it's vitally important that if anything
I'm
were to move
really sorry,
from the.
you're breaking up. Guys, he's asking about the property that we left unmonitored.
Oh, right. That's what he was doing before you called him to pit. Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry. Gonna just rewind that.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like a good idea to split up any more than we already were last night.
I mean, what do you expect us to do?
Eddie says it didn't seem like a good idea to split
No,
up
don't-
any more than we...
No, sorry. You're breaking up.
No, he's a cheeky one.
We were not thinking straight. We'll have eyes on it today. We'll try and see.
You get no
I can
response.
do that.
You see, they kind of like put the card down, and their hand is clearly shaking, and they just kind of start rocking, and it's just like wide-eyed. It's just like, oh no.
Liana puts
lead-
her
that
hand
lead's
on your
dead.
shoulder.
We have to assume that lead's dead. We've left it unattended for too long.
I mean, I can swing by and check.
There's no point now.
It might not be. It was only one night. We don't know that it happened yesterday.
Oh, well, you don't think that if they wanted to get something done surreptitiously, they wouldn't wait until the whole fucking city guard, middle city, was basically on lockdown at one side of the city? Of course they
Probably
moved
can
last
check
night.
and see if that happened. I
All
mean,
right, fair
it would
point.
only take one of us to go in and have a conversation with him. Like,
True, but take it from me, in these kind of situations, once you leave a lead unmonitored, it's pretty much worthless. There's
was-
no point.
It was the
We
right
could-
call, though, right?
of course,
Absolutely.
Sure.
Tim's more important.
It was a call.
We've got other leads we can chase down.
Fact of the
I
matter
don't
is,
want
we
to write
couldn't-
it off as a dead lead before we know it's a dead lead. I mean, I get that it is. I mean, if I was trying to do something dodgy and I saw that the whole guard was going to one area, I would 100% do it then. But I don't want to overestimate him or underestimate him. I don't
more
really want to
okay.
estimate him at a point.
It's more a
Alright,
case
I
of an. Sorry, go on.
I do think that we want to check just to make sure, because this is our most obvious lead, that this is a dead lead before we give up on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's more about an allocation of resources.
I'm not going to be any good at bloody magic store anyway. I mean, I find no fuck all about magic. Yeah, I mean, or a library, to be fair. So,
If you want to go and keep an eye on the place, then go ahead. I doubt engaging him is going to do us much good. What we're going to do, go in and ask him if he's spoken to his bosses yet.
no. I will use my smarts when I get there to make the right call.
Okay.
And I'll be back before dark.
Persuasion check. No, I'm joking. I'm just.
Good enough for me.
I'll be back before dark.
As you say this, Leanna Virgil sort of goes, "Oh, I was thinking as well, actually, seeing as you're going to do this." And he takes the cloak of Elvenkind off his shoulders and just sort of tosses it towards you. Put that on, leave it on for about an hour. You'll blend in a lot easier than you do now with the general surroundings. It'll be, yes, just put that on.
I mean, as long as you don't need it. I mean,
Oh no, I have ways around being spotted anymore. Transmutation was going to be my major, so don't worry about me. I'm fine.
that was a lot of words I didn't know, but okay. And she takes the cloak.
You don't need to, just take the cloak.
I'll put it on.
Yeah.
Well, we do have other leads we could chase down in the meantime, or on the way.
Kiri is just staring out the window, like clearly looking at the sky.
Just out of curiosity, what time of day does it look like about now? Like how?
So
Very early in the morning. Right?
I would. So because you're having breakfast and you woke up an hour ago, I would probably assume that it's probably about 8-9 o'clock. Dude.
1 p.m.
Like, yeah, like nearly midnight the following day.
Can I do the thing where, like, because I was sitting right opposite Kyria, and if they're sort of gazing out there, can I do that thing where I sort of lean in and then, like, kind of try and follow where their eyes are going to see what they're looking at, if they're looking at anything in particular?
I'm literally just looking at the sky.
Yeah, I know. It happens to me all the time. I'm just staring at something and someone goes, nothing.
Yeah, it genuinely just looks like Kyria's just kind of fixated on the sky outside. It's unclear as to what they're looking at.
Right. So, Virgil to the library, me to the dodgy guy shop, and the rest of you to the magic shop, because we're no longer going to the gate because of Pim is safe. Right? I follow that, right?
If you want to... If you want to wait for me to have done a bit more research on what we actually need before we just go wandering into magic shops and potentially incriminating ourselves more with situations we don't want to associate ourselves with, you can do something else. I don't know, but
well, yes. I was thinking that it might be a good time to check in on Berhand.
Who?
The guy who set me up.
Wasn't that Tanner?
Yeah, by sort of. He'll get his comeuppance, don't worry. But
the person from the bakery.
I can just imagine the last session of our entire campaign is just Edivir on a hilltop somewhere, pushing down an Acme Dynamite.
He's not surviving this campaign.
Wyndmere just goes kaboom.
Just a plunger.
Yeah, got him.
Got him. But yeah, I mean, it's a loose lead, but he was told to hire someone for a job, which ended up being me, that got me set up.
Right.
There was whatever was going on, whatever explosion was linked and that I was blamed for. There might have been some political motive. It might have something to do with this move that someone's getting ready to make that we keep talking about. It might be connected. So whoever set him on the job that got me framed might have something to do with whoever's benefiting from this flux. So if we find out who that is, that might point us in a certain direction.
Right. So
I was gonna ask for your help on that. And he's looking at Liana. I wasn't planning on asking nicely.
Do you see for the first time this morning, a smile comes up on her face?
He sort of does a tiny bit of a side grin back to you, looking you in the eyes.
I think if the other lead is dead, that is definitely a good option.
And
Me-
worst case scenario, it's still on the way.
Me and you head there, we check out the lead. If it doesn't work out, we can head to the bakery because I can always. And you can see she kind of like rests her hand on the on the axe when she says that. Yeah, magic and library for you two. Bakery and
No.
dodgy man for us.
Should I? How about I stay here for Pim, and then Pim and I can go and have a look around. Just listen and overhear. Like Pim's really good at that stuff. I'm really good at blending in. Just what the word on the street is to see if there's any updates that we can get on just in general things going on. What people make of what happened last night, and other things going on.
Canvassing.
Yes.
I imagine you'll be
actually
quite
very
good at that,
smart.
actually.
I wouldn't want him to come home to an empty house either.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But
Okay.
he might also be terribly exhausted from the night he's just spent, so I don't know if he'll be
Well,
in top
then
form.
I can go, but I think he needs to come home to someone.
We'll be here for when he gets back.
Yeah, and I hadn't assumed we were all leaving now. Or at least you weren't.
I'm leaving now. We need to make sure that this lead doesn't go dead by just fucking about in the morning.
In the meantime, while this conversation is ongoing, Evan, Pim, we are going to do our best, and we are going to make it through this really important RP moment. And by the time we're probably done and you've finished like dubstep rapping, we'll probably get to the halfway break. So are you ready?
Yep.
Amazing.
Cool. So far, so good.
Where we pick up, a lot has happened since the end of last session. The Raven has escorted you across the hillocks of the outer reaches of Wyndmere and towards the towering walls that surround the city. And as you start approaching, you naturally see, kind of aim yourself in the direction of one of the gates. And as you take a few paces, you kind of turn and notice that the Raven is he's not heading towards the gate, he's heading elsewhere. You quickly alter course and follow him, and, well, with him, towards the outer wall of Wyndmere. I would say about 2 or 3 hours have passed during this walk. You guys have... He wouldn't really engage you in conversation unless you made it first. He's very much kind of letting you have some time with your, in your own head. Isn't really trying to distract you or anything. He's very much just giving you that little bit of space. After a couple of hours, he kind of turns to you and goes, right, we're nearly there. We're not going to enter the city via normal means. You and I are going to enter through the tunnel system and into the sewers, and then up into the middle city.
We could have done it!
This is not a well-travelled path. It isn't dangerous, but it's dark, it's mucky. But we'll be safe, alright?
Okay.
Okay, how are you feeling?
Tired. Mainly.
I bet.
Any
Look,
word from the others?
I tried to get word to them, but the Sending Stone may have had some magical interference from somewhere. There was a little bit of... I don't know if the full message got across. Your friend, Kyria, said that she was losing me at some point, so... Well, I think they're still in the city. Do you know where they might be?
They might be at our home.
Oh. Look,
We have a home in the middle city now.
Oh. Look at you, property moguls within a couple of days. Aren't you resourceful as a bunch, huh?
Well, the rent's really high, so we probably just have it for a day or two.
Well, I'm not quite sure that that's how it works, Pim, but I'm sure that you have ways and means of making money in the city. There's plenty of opportunities there. I wouldn't worry about paying rent.
No, you're right. Eddie will probably steal something to make up for it.
That's not what I wanted to hear. Look, we'll get you back. We'll get you clothed, firstly. Not that what you're wearing doesn't look good on you, but it's not... it's a bit big.
No, I need my stuff, I think.
Yeah. I think that would be good. And you need some rest. Look, when we get back to the city, I will take you home. But there are things I might be able to do to help. There are some people in the city that I might be able to get some help from for this situation. I'll reach out to them, and if I can gain an audience with them, it might be best that you come with me to see them, and we at least get you checked over. It's a small circle of druids that operate within the city. They're not well known, and they do not want to be known. Let's say it's a secret, Pim. And are you good at keeping secrets?
I'm really good.
Good. Because if you don't keep the secret, you know what that means, right?
Well, someone's gonna hunt me down, probably.
Oh, no, it just makes you a slightly worse person than you were before you told the secret. But nobody's going to hunt you down. You're going to be fine. Just try to keep the secret to yourself.
Ah, okay.
You know what druids...
I can do that.
Good. Because you know what druids can be like with their secrets, right?
Yep.
Good. Now, follow me. Let's get you back into the city. I'm sure there's some people that are missing you at this point. And look, it's going to be okay. Got nothing to worry about. If it's what I think it is, and what we discussed, then the effects of such a curse only really, from what I know, kind of rear their heads during a full moon, and that has passed now. That was last night. So you've got days, if not weeks, until the next. So there's no imminent danger, there's no imminent threat, you're not going to hurt anyone. It's going to be fine. We have time to sort this out now, Pim.
You don't think the voices are connected?
The voices?
Back when we fought the SBC, I got pretty hurt at one point, and something in my head just... I don't know, it was like a thought, but it wasn't really mine, or maybe it was mine, I don't know.
Look,
I just got angry and wanted to hurt people. I don't usually want to do that.
No, I believe you. Look, these are all brilliant questions, but they're not really for me to answer. Like okay. I said, I will reach out to the people I know within the city that might be able to help. We'll seek help, and we'll get these questions answered. I'm sure you have a lot of them. I'm sure there's a lot of questions going through your mind, and that's a boy of your age. It's a perfectly natural thing to happen. You know, your question, you're becoming...
I've already had that talk. We don't need to have that talk. That's fine.
Okay.
Your body's growing hair in places it didn't before.
A lot of hair.
Okay.
Oh shit! It's puberty again.
Not again.
So the Raven then takes you towards the northwestern corner, almost to the very northern side of the city walls of Wyndmere. And roughly around 150 to 200 yards from the wall, in this small sort of like a water outlay that kind of the sewage system would then flow into to then run off towards the edge of the island. You see there is a huge sewer grate that kind of the pipe embeds itself into the ground, and the Raven walks over and kind of like peels the mesh quite easily and kind of pulls it to one side and takes you into the sewers. You're traveling for about an hour and a half underneath within this system. The smell is horrific. You are stepping in all sorts of funkiness. It's a sewer. You get the point. Boop. Yep, there is definitely fecal things everywhere. And you are trying to actively avoid it, but it's everywhere.
Oh god.
You don't have shoes either.
Nope, so it's going in between your toes, underneath your... Tune in next week for more exciting D&D action. But you're traveling for about an hour to an hour and a half until you get to a ladder that is within one of the pipe systems leading up to the surface. The Raven goes up first, you quickly follow, and he removes the grate at the top and, surfaces. And you surface, funnily enough, you are within one of the most northern westerly points of the middle city, roughly around a 20 to 25 minute walk from the property that you guys are currently renting. The Raven, before you step out onto the street, turns to you and goes, well, it's going to look a little bit strange if I'm walking a half-naked young boy through the streets of Wyndmere, so we better do something about this. Cool, let's see what we can do. Sure, I might have something that could work. Wait there. And he kind of reaches into his satchel and pulls out a circlet. A very small, ornate piece of jewelry that he kind of walks over and places on your head, and he leans in and goes, okay, I don't know if you've used this type of magic before, but I want you to think of a person. Not a person familiar to you, but maybe somebody that you've seen once, passing by. I want you to imagine in your mind's eye what they look like, their hair, their facial features, how they dress, everything. And I want you to focus in on that image. And as you do that, Pim, I'd like you to describe the person that you are now disguised as.
This could take a while.
So,
There you go. There
Pim
you go.
is thinking about...
No, you're good.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep, you good.
Yep. Okay, cool. The drunken dwarf that Buck brought back.
Perfect.
Excellent. So you are roughly around 3 to 4 feet stature, quite burly dwarven individual with shock red hair, curls everywhere. And you are wearing sick stained leathers from where he'd kind of evacuated his beer of the evening onto his chest. And you kind of, that's the image that you have. And you
I'm imagining that bloke's just being stood just kind of right there and be like, oi! Don't I know you? Don't I know you from somewhere?
And the Raven kind of turns around and goes, good, very good. Now, if you just concentrate on that and you just tell me where this house of yours is.
For the sake of brevity, I tell him.
Thank you. So he begins to lead you through the streets of Wyndmere.
Whilst we're walking, he mentioned lycanthropy to me.
Mhm.
Now, we were about to do a check last session before we ended. How much with Pim's stories and everything, how much does Pim actually know about lycanthropy?
Okay, so I'd like you to make me a history check. Now, the reason is that given everything that's happened and where your head's at the moment, the thousands of thoughts running through your head, and similar to how Leanna is, you are exhausted, you're foggy. I want you to just roll me a history check, just to see how readily available that information is to you at this point.
So if I roll in that one on a disadvantage,
Then
You rolled
do I
two.
re-roll that? Even though it's disadvantage?
Yes.
Halfling luck.
yeah, because the result is a natural 1, but you'd have to then
Yeah.
re-roll it at disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay, I re-roll it with disadvantage.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's how
Okay,
I'm. That's how I'm going. Yes,
Seems reasonable.
if I say it with enough confidence, then that's the rule.
And it can't get
I'll,
worse.
I'll remember that.
Yeah.
So that would be a 17.
Holy shit! What, with disadvantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 15 and a nat 1, and I had to re-roll the nat 1, and I rolled an 11 and a 12.
Nice. Okay. So, given your druidicness and the stories in which you sat and discussed quite at length about what that means with your grandfather, mainly through your
Oh, sorry,
interest in...
I'm an idiot.
Okay.
I'm an idiot. Sorry, it's not. It's
oh.
history. You said
I just thought that was a statement. Yeah, go on.
it's a 12. It's a 12.
Okay, that's
It's
fine.
a 12. I looked at the wrong stat.
That's fine, brother. No problem. So you spent many a evening sat with your grandpa quizzing him about what it means to be a druid, the connection with nature, what your parents' abilities were, how powerful they were, what age they were when these sorts of magical abilities became something that they would be able to use within their everyday lives. And he talked to you about your father and your father's natural ability to be able to wild shape into animals and animal forms. Now, this is something that stuck with you for a long time. You idolize your mother and your father. They are your heroes, and there was always a dream of yours to be able to follow in your father's footsteps. So this intrigued you a lot. Now, you asking a lot of questions about how this works. Is it an ability that they were born with? How do you master such a skill and such things? What you would know through your grandfather's stories is that wild shaping and the lycanthropy curse are two entirely different things. You will have been given stories about people who had natural abilities via magics and nature magics to wild shape, but there are those folk throughout the world who also have the ability to turn into monstrous creatures such as bears, wolves, tigers, things like that. But it's not through the honing of a craft or a skill. It's very much a curse, something that they either contract through their lives or they're born into. Your grandfather he didn't know a great deal, but he understood that, and he explained that the individuals who had the ability through the curse often had quite volatile, got it through quite violent circumstances at times, unless they were born into it. It had a lot of volatile effects. There are a lot of cultures throughout the world who despise and hunt people with such afflictions, and there are even secret conclaves of individuals who have such abilities, who try to carve themselves out a piece of the world just for them, and kind of society rejecting them to a point where they become their own society in a way. In terms of how the curse works and the effects of such is up for discussion. Your grandfather didn't really know a lot about that. And the only real things he kind of talked to you about was that if you were to have any, like, ability in the future to turn into an animal, it wouldn't be through lycanthropy. So often try to steer you away from the questions you'd ask in and around that. One, to try and protect you a little bit, but also two, because the fact of the matter is he wouldn't have a great deal of knowledge as to, you know, the ins and outs of it.
Okay, cool.
Not bad for a 12, right? That was quite a lot of information for a 12. You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So back at the property, you guys, Edivir, Kyria, Virgil, and Liana, you are sat round the table, almost completely settled on your plans, but we rejoin you guys within the house.
Yeah, you're probably right. We probably do need to get off sooner rather than later. We might have to wait for you guys to welcome Pim home.
I mean, if you're setting off, I'm setting off. I want to get there early. I don't want to.
Well, then I'll stay for him. That's fine.
Should we arrange a time to be back, or just come back after we finish?
Before dark, I think is...
Definitely.
Yes, I'll be returning home once I'm done.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, whenever things like this afflicted people, then I've known people to go to, you know, quite holy people as well. They can sometimes have solution to curses, from what I know.
Yes, it is. We will need to find someone along those lines, but if we can actually find someone, given the current state of our, you know, being in the city is another choice, is another thing entirely, and most clergy won't.
I mean, Kyria can talk their way in anyway, so.
Oh, I just had a
Okay.
thought. So, obviously, we don't want to attract attention to, you know, the fact that we may have a lycanthrope in our midst or whatever. But then last night, I, you know, came up with the really creative Wyndmere mythic creature control force. What if we create documentation, maybe some badges, and, you know, that can be our cover to uncover information?
Not a bad idea.
Sorry,
That's actually a
You
good
did
thought.
what?
Oh, when I was
I wasn't going to ask, but now that you have, what?
It's fine, dear. I've got this. What have you done?
No, when I was trying to get, you know, beat on the situation, I identified the person who was in control, and then I was like, oh, we're the Wyndmere mythic creature control force. We're en route. What's the situation? Give us a debrief. So, you know, there's now whispers that exists, so why can't it?
Did it work?
Oh yeah, he didn't question it. I think he was a bit busy.
Yeah, that creative thinking of yours is going to save our lives one day.
Right. Well, while you're waiting for Pim, if you want to make badges, and she tries to keep a straight face, but fails.
Well, I don't have any craft
Oh.
supplies.
I'm sure you'll find something.
As the front
Edivir, should we
door,
go?
the knock of doosh, doosh, doosh at the front door.
Edivir stands up and puts his hand up,
I grab my axe.
moves over to the door and kind of puts his back to the side of the door and just kind of tries to peek out one of the curtains to see who's...
You see
Who's there?
there is a little old lady with a kind of like a little shawl type deal tucked under, like like a handkerchief that she's put over her head and tied under her chin, has a little basket on her arm, and she's just like kind of goes on the door.
Edivir clicks back the hammer on his hand crossbow. And I'll open the door a crack. Can I help?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? I believe I have something that you want.
I'll open the crack a tiny little bit more. What might that be?
Well, it's something vitally important, something you may have lost.
Is this some kind of religious thing? Because
Well, why don't you invite?
If you have like a pamphlet or something, I'll just take that and you can do the next house.
Shooing away the Jehovah's.
It's trust me, what I have, you are desperately in need of.
Editor, tell them to go away.
Go away. Let's shut the door.
Do you actually shut the door? As the door shuts, literally you hear on the door again, like immediately as you shut it.
I'll just open the door fully and just stare at her.
As you open the door fully, the old lady proceeds to try and walk through the door, and she just
I'll
goes,
stop her.
"Ah," as you try to stop. Will you just move out of my way?
Do I recognize the old lady?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will you tell him to move?
Let her in.
Do you
Oh.
know this woman?
I'll place back the hammer of my hand crossbow and move out of the way.
The old lady like steps in and goes, "We
Shut the
have
door
some
behind her.
unfinished business. My husband was a good man." And rolls her sleeves up. No, I'm joking. I'm just playing.
Oh, there's the combat for today. Cool.
Yeah. This battle map is brought to you by Tom Carter.
Old lady just rips the sleeves off her shirt, like revealing like anchor tattoos on her arm with huge biceps. She's like, "Buckle up, motherfuckers!"
Then their nest egg was a belt of giants with a hill giant strength.
Exactly.
Their retirement nest egg.
As she kind of like steps through, she goes, "Come on, dear, you're all right." And you see this like, which is a shock to all of you, as the 4-foot drunken dwarf follows her into
Oh,
the
no.
house.
Not again.
You walk in, seeing the look of shock on their faces at your image. I told you.
Who's
I run
closest
up
to
and
me?
I leap into the dwarf's arms and just give him a massive hug. Because like, I don't know this dwarf from Adam, but I know that that's the Raven.
I'm looking over at Virgil and
She
Yeah.
lost her goddamn mind. Isn't that the dwarf that Bark
Covered in
brought back?
stick. Oh my god.
The old lady steps past you, Edivir, shuts the door, and literally pulls down the headscarf off their head as her form shifts into that of the Raven, who immediately pulls it down to stop, but pulls it down facing away from you, and then immediately pulls their hood back over to almost encompassing their face over to here. As he turns around and goes, "Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Sorry, 1 second," and kind of leans over and grabs the bangle off Pim's head and removes it.
I'm refusing to
revealing
let
Pim.
go.
That's fine. As he reveals that Pim is home.
Hi, guys.
welcome back.
Gave us
I'm
quite a
sorry.
scare.
Leanna just runs up. She's dropped her axe at this point. It's completely just scattered on the floor. She runs up and she's kind of with Kyria right round him. She's trying to look him over to make sure that there's no scratches, there's no injuries. Probably hefting and hufting Kyria out of the way as well. She is mama bearing, trying to make sure he looks okay.
He looks a little disheveled, to say the least. There's a few scratches here and there, but nothing mortally wounding.
With that, she's going to stand up and she's going to slap him. Why
Pim.
did you run off?
Yeah,
I told you to stay here.
as Miko has pointed out, you stand up and you slap the half-naked Pim right across the face.
I'm really sorry, guys. I think I might be sick.
That's enough of that.
You're not sick, and it's definitely something we can fix. I've been thinking about it for a long time, Pim. It's fine. We will sort this.
Once Kyria and Liana have sort of stopped fussing over Pim a bit, Edivir just kind of comes over and just kneels down in front of him, and just sort of brings his eye line down to Pim's. Just kind of looks at each side of his face and sort of his scratched and thorn sort of skin and stuff like that, and I'll just say, well, you did well to look after yourself out there.
I killed someone. I think.
We'll talk about that later.
Wasn't you?
Rest up. Get yourself back on your feet. Try and take it easy today. You and Kiri have got a job to do. If you feel up, if you feel up to it,
Feel up to what?
I'll let Kiri explain that. But we have to go.
Well, before you do, look, Pim, why don't you go and get washed, changed, maybe take a nap? Go on, you've had a hard night. And he kind of like walks over and places a soft palm on the back of you, on your back, and just kind of like gently ushers you towards the stairs to see, and waits till Pim goes up the stairs.
Eddie just
Before
looks.
I go off,
Mhm.
I'll untie the robe that he gave me for the cloak.
Yeah.
I don't think I need that anymore. Thank you, though.
Thank you. Go on. Pim now almost fully naked, just in the middle, just with a rudimentary like sash around his waist.
Just as a side note, when Pim goes into the room with 2 bunk beds, knowing that he preferred the top bunk when we were at the at Tanner's place, you see that there's clearly been someone who's been sleeping on that bed. It's fully disheveled, but you see like kind of scattered everywhere, like little bits of twigs and vines, but you see along the headboard, like flowers and like vines and leaves have been interwoven. And you could tell that someone's been up a long time, you know, just creating this little bit of nature where your bed is. But yeah, that's what you see as you go to the room with the bunk beds.
And as
That's so sweet.
as the Raven's sort of guiding you up there, Edivir just looks down at you and goes, "It's okay. We've got stuff to be getting on with anyway. We're just glad you're back."
I'm glad to be back.
And as Pim disappears off upstairs, the Raven turns to all and goes, "Right, well, a couple of orders of business before I need to go. So last night, where did we get up to? Who do I talk to? Who watched over the place? Any news? No one.
No. Emotions were high. We decided it would be best to not split up into even more groups, and for us all to be there when Pim gets back."
I couldn't go outside.
Understandable. Kind of puts us on the back foot a little bit, but fine.
We were talking about it before you got here. I mean, in my experience, that to me is a dead lead now.
I would assume so too, yeah.
But
May have missed our window of opportunity with that, but do you have any other leads?
we do. We're planning on following some of them down, but we are also going to keep an eye on Alden's place just for today.
Okay. Well, I have some business to attend to. Just so that you're all in the loop, there's no secrets. I have a group of people that I know within the city. They are a rather secretive bunch, but they are a small circle of druids that operate within the city. They keep themselves to themselves, not well known. They operate out of I would like to say a secret place, but let's say it's a very very unknown place within the city. It's hard to find. They might be able to help him, kind of check him over, see if there's anything wrong. I know it's not ideal, but I think it's for the best. I don't need to take him now. I'll go speak with them. I have a couple of other inquiries I need to make.
And Liana.
Well, as much, and I apologize, I'm not trying to offend, but as much as I would love to take you there, Liana, they very much only really trust people of their own
No.
kind.
Ask about Liana as well.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. But I'll go make inquiries there. If I can at least get Pym an audience, they might be able to help him in some way with some magics and other things. I won't need to take him straight away, but I'll come back later and fetch him. And look, he will be safe with me. I know how much he means to all of you, so I won't leave him there. I'll stay with him the entire time. But I'll see if I can at least grant him an audience. I think
Virgil sort of finally comes up from the table where he'd been stood, sort of just eyeing the situation for a time, sort of seeming to be keeping quite a stern, focused on the mission type vibe. And just, magic, you say? Is this druidic magic, or is this something more arcane that I can get involved with because I've got research to do?
It's very much druidic magic. I would hazard to guess at, but anything that they might say or they might point towards, I'll be sure to keep a track of, and I'll inform you once we get back.
Don't know of any societies of underground arcane users by any chance?
Oh, well, I mean, throughout Wyndmere, there's plenty of people that are underground. Some of them are arcane users, but not really what I think you're asking for, no. Not that I know of, but I can certainly put my ear to the ground. But while I'm at it and while I'm out, if Alden has indeed taken the opportunity last night, which I suspect he may have done, then there will be eyes throughout the city that I can, use to keep a watch out to see if there's any particularly large shipments moving in and out and around the city. And look, I have contacts, okay? I'll see what I can find. I might be able to kick over a few rocks and see what's underneath.
Does the name Burhund mean anything to you?
There's a slight pause as he kind of turns and looks towards you. At this point, none of you have really seen the Raven's face apart. Well, Edivir, you have, but no one else has really seen his face before, as he kind of turns and lifts his head up a little bit, revealing a little bit more of his kind of scarred, battle-worn cheeks. As he kind of turns and goes, "Yes? Who is he to you?"
We think he might be a link in the chain, or at least know someone who is.
Well, he has got fingers in many pies and moves within dangerous circles.
Thinking of going and paying him a visit.
Okay. Look, he's very well connected throughout the city in all the wrong places.
Doesn't bother me.
No, but just be careful. He's not that he's very capable himself, but look, if he wants something and he needs something done, it is usually he gets his own way. Somebody like that, they're not easily trifled with, okay? Just try not to say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. Probably best to keep your distance and not ruffle too many feathers in that realm.
Noted.
Look, I'm sure you've all got a lot to do. I have a lot to do. I'll be on my way, but I'll be back later on to pick Timothy up. All right.
From up the stairs.
Has anyone seen my stuff?
I think it was in a ripped up pile in the garden, wasn't it?
You saw a boot in the garden.
Ah.
Unless anybody went into the back alleyway and along the alley to collect the rest of his stuff that is strewn in pieces along the the back garden, you will find that after, if you spend any time looking, then you will be able to gather all of Pym's stuff.
Liana will shout up the stairs. We'll get you some stuff while we're out. Just clean up and sleep.
Thank you.
She turns to the Raven and puts two paws, one on each shoulder. These people you've taken him to hurt him in any way.
Oh, Liana, And he literally puts his hands underneath yours and like removes them from his shoulder and says, if I wanted to hurt him and I wanted any harm to come to him, I would have done so by now. Very easily.
It's not what I was implying.
You were also implying that it would be my head if anything were to happen to him, and that is not necessary.
I'm good. I'm glad it goes without saying then.
Thank you for bringing him back to us.
You're welcome. May this, and he kind of immediately and he's saying all of this directly facing you, Liana, and goes, maybe now you understand what I said when I said that we can trust each other. Anyway, I'll see you later. And he just opens the door, steps out, goes to shut it, opens it again, puts his head back through and goes, bye, Bumblebee. Pulls it back.
Bye, Mrs. Raven.
And shuts the door.
Why does he insist on wearing that hood inside?
Because he's cool.
Yeah, he is.
And I flick up the hood of Elvenkind. Just go, am I cool now?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right, we should go and move on.
Yes,
Right.
indeed. I also hate to ask, but I may need to swing by the Magic Emporium for some things of my own. If I could borrow a little gold from some of you, I may need a little more than I have.
You can have mine.
I'll pay you back at some point.
It's not necessary, but yeah. And she hands you 43 gold.
Thank you. And make things easier.
I kind of sprint upstairs.
Yep. Okay, bye, guys.
I try and find my pouch amidst the shit that's strewn everywhere. Managed to find it. Take out 16 gold. Run back downstairs. Here you go.
Oh. Thank you, Liana. Not Liana. Kiri. Sorry, my head is everywhere. Sorry, my head's all over the shop.
Says thanks, Liana, again, and you're like, hey!
And Edivir like kind of slyly looks in his pouch, which is quite full, and just puts it back in his pocket.
Right, Edivir, should we go?
Yeah.
You know the way to Alden's place, right?
Yeah, I think we should stop in at the bakery first, though.
Bakery first. Okay.
Right. Just out of curiosity, this bakery place, is it a place that you are able to go, just the two of you, and be okay?
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
I don't believe you.
When I step outside, do I feel any effects of the night before?
No, none that other than what you already feel currently. No, there's no like residual effect. You don't see there's nothing like. There is just the like I say, what you're currently feeling. You're foggy. You're exhausted. You're tired. Just every step feels like it's a lot of effort to kind of like walk and all that kind of business. But you're not. You don't feel like you're about to like change into an animal any more than you already are.
Different animal. Edivir will probably notice as she was stepping over the threshold of the door. She paused for a second and kind of closed her eyes as she took one big step, paused.
Edivir's about 10 feet away from you at this point.
He slipped
Anyone
through.
else would have noticed that. But yeah, she was just like, okay. And then she could quickly catch up with you. She has not...
No, he was behind you. He was watching what was going to happen.
hand on his hand crossbow, like
hammer cocked.
Yeah.
She does have the Cloak of Elvenkind on, but she probably wouldn't have had time to attune to it yet. It
Not
hasn't been
as
an
yet,
hour.
no. Yeah,
so
yeah,
she has it, but she's not getting any effect from it yet.
Well, okay, so before we leave, and technically it only takes me an action, so we'll say I'll do it in about a minute. Oh, Becky!
Hello, Jazz.
Sorry, podcast listeners, Dan's dog has just entered the frame.
Hello, darling.
I'm going to take a couple of minutes to prepare a satchel charge.
Sick. Go ahead and roll me a Tinkerer's check, please.
Okay.
So you can add your dexterity score and your proficiency
And my
bonus.
proficiency. I just need to add this as a skill. So I am proficient with Tinker's tools, plus my dex, yeah? So it's just +5, so 21.
21. Okay.
Nice.
Almost like purposeful and very much like single-mindedly, you take out the wick, take out the gunpowder, the black powder. You fill it all up, and you're like, right, cool. Almost like Rocket Raccoon when he's like building that bomb in the bloody ship.
Yeah.
What are you building? A bomb? A bomb?
Yeah, and I just like strap it round and secure it together.
Yeah.
Put it in my pack.
Excellent.
And then we make our way out.
Liana ahead of it.
Before Edivir leaves, Rodel just looks and goes, before nightfall, right?
We'll try and make it before.
Make it before, please.
You got it.
Thank you.
As the two of them leave, leaving Kyria and Virgil downstairs and Pim just currently floating about in the bath upstairs with suds everywhere.
The Mr. Matey's out. He's got a rubber duck. He's out all the time.
Rubber ducky!
Between his toes, yeah.
Right.
Please tell me there's a rubber duck.
Sure.
Yay!
Nice. Add it to your inventory list.
He giveth, he taketh away. The rubber duck sinks.
It's a legendary item.
Yes, it makes you can roll bath checks with advantage constantly for maximum fun.
Sort of wandering around. You can see. That's the best bath ever. As he sort of looks up and hears the splash of a tub, Virgil sort of walks around, and his normal sort of ruffled hair, he sort of puts his fingers through it and tries to push it back into sort of like a swept back type of like thing. What's your? Have you got a fairly high passive perception, Kiri?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think you would. Are you looking at Virgil?
Probably. There's nothing else going on.
All right. Well, for lack of anything else interesting, as he sort of does that and he sort of turns to you at some point, you see a very thick black tattooed line going down the back of his neck, under his shirt, and then up into the hairline. But that's all you see of any of that. And then he sort of turns to you and goes, right, I have to go to the library and start getting my books and my research things ready. What are you doing, Kiri? Just so I can be sure of you.
So probably just going to stick to the middle city, but if Pim's up to it, going to go out into the middle city, I'm probably going to disguise myself and maybe, busk around and over here, because what's more blended in than people singing on the side of the street? People don't mind their conversations. So, yeah, just get a feel for what's going on, really. Probably pick up some groceries for here as well.
You gave me all your money, didn't you?
No.
Oh. Well, thank you for what you did give me then. It's fine. If you've got enough for... Pick up something sweet, will you? I've been dying for something sugary all week.
Maybe I could try baking. I could be a baker, right?
If this place has the equipment for it, we can bake together. I used to do it a lot back home.
Can you teach me?
Oh, absolutely. Apple pies and danishes and anything like that were my specialty. Right. Be safe, love. Don't get yourself into any situations.
No, I won't. I'll make a note of where I go, so I don't get lost again.
I love that the shadow of the terror and the shit that you've just been through is immediately alleviated by the word Danishes. And you're like, oh, David.
Honestly, so valid.
Yeah.
True to life.
Yep.
What is trauma when there are cinnamon buns?
Right.
Virgil sort of looks around for any sort of cloaks that had been thrown off by people who, maybe Leanna's old one that she would have taken off and then put back on. He sort of takes it and tries to very sort of flavorfully wrap it around itself so it looks more like a what's it called?
Shawl.
Like a
Shawl, toga?
Yeah, like a shawl. Like he's sort of some theatre person. He's put a shawl on it, so he's trying to get all the ruffles out and properly. And he's like, well, it's not really my colour, but it'll do. Okay, right. The library.
It is literally like a brown rag that I found in the that I fashioned into a colour.
Yeah, but Virgil prestidigitates it, he works it, he puts some colour in there, he attaches a few things. Like, it's fine. He works it into a very nice garment that sort of hangs over one shoulder, around the chest and back, and like, oh, not bad.
There's a difference between wearing and styling, darling.
You can wear something, I wear something. Oh, right.
Clovis, get out of here.
Sorry.
There's a new fashionista in town.
And Virgil, you step
Yes.
out. And...
I step out and straight in the direction of the Wyndmere Library because I'm pretty sure he would know where it is.
Excellent. You do indeed, and you head off, leaving
Mhm.
Kyria and Pim in the house. What do you guys want to do?
Totally fine. Nothing bad could happen.
No.
Yeah,
You
split
just-
the party completely.
Yeah, you guys come back later that night. Pim has a can of gas. Fucking Kyria holding a box of matches like the voices, guys. They were.
Just rubble behind them.
Yeah.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
As soon as my bath is done, and I guess, is there clothes? Like, or is it just my robe that I have?
Well,
Um,
you will see in our room, because Kyria, when they went back to the Artful Lodger, packed a load of their clothes. There's Kyria's clothes.
And you're roughly the same size. You're very similar
I'm
height
2
and stuff.
foot taller!
Roughly.
I've never seen you that tall.
Like-
I'm not gonna lie.
He's talking about Yuhan and Pim.
I am the same height as Kyria.
Roughly. No.
So yeah,
So-
3 foot.
If Kyria takes some time while Pim's in the bath, you can find Pim's boots. Unfortunately, his clothes are shredded.
Yeah.
But you do find his staff, bag, like all the character sheety stuff. There's just clothes that you need to figure out.
My cooking utensils?
Yeah, all that. You good. None of your belongings have disappeared. I'm not that cruel. Plus,
The
I've also
important thing is
just given you a rubber ducky, so just be, take the wins
I'm
where you can
happy.
get it, Pim. Like what?
I mean, Pim goes out with the rubber ducky and only the rubber ducky.
Oh, that is an image I did.
No!
Wait.
No one draw that.
That's
not how you wild shaped.
Daddy told me that this is the way.
Oh god, no.
Oh no, that went too far.
So,
Pim, are you decent?
Depends on your definition, but yeah.
Are you naked?
No.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Clip, clop, clip, clop,
Love
clip,
that.
clop, upstairs.
Clip clop.
And I'm kind of carrying like all the stuff I've gathered from the back alley. It's like, here you go.
Amazing. Thank you.
Your clothes are fucked.
Yeah. I imagined. I have a robe though, so it's fine.
Do you want to use some of mine?
Can
I
I?
don't have trousers.
That's okay.
no, it is
yeah.
No.
not.
It's not. I think that's the most important bit.
Like,
I still have the robe, guys.
excellent.
So I take some time styling Pim into basically like a blouse that kind of comes. It's like a dress almost.
It's a kilt. It's a kilt.
No, it's a dress, and I find like a little sash
A tunic, if
to
anything.
tie it around the waist, and like a pair of suspenders. Pop them on him.
Nice.
It's just like a mini Kyria.
Nice.
Yeah. The suspenders was a must.
I would like. It's important. Was this against your will, Pill? Like Pim? If it was against your will,
Against your will, Pill.
against your will,
win
Pim.
pill.
Because if it was, this makes it even better, and I'm just going to roll with it.
I mean, go for it.
Shout. Pim's like, I don't really like this color, and you're like, shut the fuck up, man. This is going to be great.
Trust the process.
Yeah,
I know. fashion.
excellent. So we fashion Pim into some beautiful new clothing.
So, what's the plan?
Well, it depends what you're up for. I don't know. Do you want to talk?
Talk about what?
Nothing.
No, it's fine. Okay, so either you can have a nap, and we could, or the plan was basically to go into the town and just kind of get a beat on if people are talking about what happened, and also, any leads about Flux or anything like that.
As soon as you say talk about what happened, Pim's gaze just goes to the floor.
Or we can go shopping.
That's not what you told me.
We would need some food, right?
Exactly. We need food, and we can overhear if there's any talk of flux or anything like that. And I kind of want to practice some music, and I want to see if I can earn some bit of money. So I kind of want to busk. Never done it before.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
I've
Also,
seen
I
people
need
do it.
ingredients for a Danish. That would be really nice.
Angela, I was just talking about Danishes.
I know.
There are no coincidences.
Big ears, remember?
Oh. Yeah, you're way more observant than I am.
Well, you're way more charismatic than I am, so good team.
I just start striking poses.
Pim is trying to mimic, but makes it like it's awful.
Oh my god, I love these two so much.
Okay, so are you sure you're okay to go now?
Yes.
You don't need to mirror everything I'm doing. I'm just quite expressive.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, great. Oh, wait. Houses have keys. Right?
Yeah, usually.
Keys. Did they leave the keys?
So for the next 45 minutes, Pim and Kyria wander around the house. Pim, you spot the keys in the door, like in the front door, like within the first 5 minutes as you walk down the stairs. But the pure chaos of Kyria, like looking in vases and in the bottom drawer of the cupboard, like the kitchen drawers.
Starts cleaning
Can
the
I
kitchen.
try-
Yeah.
I
Walks
tried to
out holding
predict.
like a cup of soup.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
Yeah, and then after about 45 minutes, you kind of pick up the pattern in which Kyria's moving around the house and go and
I'll
put it
try and
in
move the key there.
in the first place that she went to look and put them back there. And that's like after 45 minutes, Kyria, you stumble across the keys on one of the counters. And
Amazing. Good job.
Let's go.
as
All right,
you
let's go.
two lock the door behind you, right?
I assume Pim will remind me
No,
to.
after that, no.
No.
Just
Just
Will
walk out.
remind me to because I absolutely will forget.
Don't even shut the door. Just walk out.
Yeah, no, Pim will remind you.
Yeah. You lock the door behind you as you set off into the middle city. So the group has split.
Yet again.
Yay! Yay!
We were together for like 5 minutes.
yeah, literally.
So, guys, we've got a plan. Well, I've got a plan. Me too. Cool. See you later.
Yeah, let's go do them.
Let's go do the plan. So, as the party go off into the middle city and the lower city, about their business for the day, we will pick up after a short break. So we're going to be back around about 5 to 8. So about 15 minutes. We're going to go for a quick break. Get yourselves some refreshment. You guys at home, go get yourselves, toilet trips, all that fun stuff. We will see you back here in about 15 minutes. Take care.
See you soon.
Bye.
everybody, and welcome back. If you are stuck with us through the break, you are the real MVP, and you can have inspiration in life. So the next time something goes wrong, just try again.
Only one.
So, let's kick back in. Who do we start with? So, I'm going to start with Edivir and Liana. You left first. You head off in the middle city in the direction of the bakery, I believe.
Yeah, aren't we stopping at Alden's first? Or
Olden's is in the lower city.
Yeah, so it's further away.
okay, bakery first then.
Yeah, it is much further away. Olden's is about a 2-hour walk from where you are.
So I'm trying to. We're kind of sticking to the side streets, to the side of the main furrows. I'm not sneaking around, like James Bond style, but we're trying to be discreet.
Okay.
Yeah. As we're walking, I'll just sort of say to Liana, now, we want to get information out of this bloke, but I feel like we should probably heed what the Raven said. So, if possible, we want to avoid killing him. Or hurting him.
I can try and do that.
Well, we've had this conversation a couple of times, haven't we?
That's why I changed it to I can try to do that. I always try my best not to kill people.
Can you try harder than you've tried previously?
Fine. I mean, it's less effective, I think, but okay.
What I've got planned
Dead people
should
don't
be...
talk when you want information, I get that.
Exactly. And we sort of keep
that,
walking from...
I didn't know we were preparing something. With that, don't blow people up.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much the only thing that it does do, but I'm planning on not doing that.
Good. We're on the same page then.
Just look scary.
Always.
And, well, yeah, I mean, that goes without saying, but try leave most of the talking to me. I'm also kind of banking on the fact that he might recognize you.
Okay. In a good or a bad way?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't really know because I haven't really asked too much about your situation. But I'm hoping in a bad way.
I get that. I can stand behind you and be intimidating if that's what you want. And to be fair, I'm never good with the words or the questions anyway. So that's probably my...
It's also just in case he...
That's a word, isn't it?
That is a word, yeah.
Use that right.
It is also just in case he doesn't pick up what I'm putting down, and we do need to fight our way out.
Oh, I can do that.
Exactly. While we're on the subject, where's home for you? And I'm not talking about House Galahad. Where are you from?
Well, I suppose we have some time. I was going to say it's a long conversation, but I don't really have one anymore. I was stolen from my pride. I was but a cub and taken here. So
this is all you've known.
Memories, vague memories that I have to put them away or it hurts. But if I ever do see there again, she shakes and she's like,
it's all right.
yeah.
I mean, if you feel like you have to put them away, then that's how you feel. But there are other ways of dealing with that kind of thing, those kind of feelings.
I punched them. That's how I do with them. What's home for you?
Well, I suppose in a similar sort of sense, I lost my home, but I left mine by choice. It never really was a home. I come from a city in Lumina called Moonshade. You ever heard of it? Doesn't surprise
Sounds
me.
pretty.
Nah. Well,
Okay.
from an outside perspective, I'm sure it would be quite a striking place, but for those who live there, it's not good. But I left there, found some people who also didn't like living in those kind of conditions and wanted to do something about it.
Bit like the UC.
More sandy.
Hot then.
Once you get down in a scratch, it's not too bad.
My hand was cold. Snow, even in the summer. It was beautiful.
I can't even imagine it.
I can build a really mean snowman. Oh, better than any of my brothers. I mean, it's one of the few things I could do better than them. But I'll show you one day.
How many brothers do you have?
7. Well, 6.
Blimey.
1 died.
I'm sorry to hear that. I've got a few
Only
brothers.
he died in glory.
That's good. Listen, there's some things I want to talk to you about.
We've got time.
Well,
Fire away.
I think it would help to talk about them after we do what we're going to do.
Okay.
And we just keep going until we get close to the bakery.
As you guys are having this conversation and this heart-to-heart, you kind of like step out of that moment and back into your surroundings a little more, and you see that the streets of Wyndmere are alive. There is hustle and bustle everywhere. The closer you get to the center of the middle city to where the market is, you see
It's
that
just off the market, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And you see the streets are packed, like a little bit busier than normal. It is market day every day, but the market on a Sunday is particularly better. On a market day on a Sunday, there are traveling performers that come and, entertain the passers-by. A lot of the weekly wares are often at discounted prices on a Sunday. So, and at this point, the working man and woman and folk within Wyndmere often venture out into the city on a Sunday because it's a day of rest. A lot of the main shopping establishments shut their doors on a Sunday. It is very much market day, a day for wandering around the city, taking in the sights. This is when a lot of the guard itself, the city watch throughout Wyndmere, as you kind of are looking out for them, a lot of them are off on a Sunday. There's a lower there's a lower amount of guard throughout the city, but there is a heavy presence through the streets. Meaning, one of two things. One, there are more eyes everywhere, but it's a lot easier to blend in with your surroundings where there's more people, right? You are around 5-10 minutes away from your destination, about 10 minutes from the marketplace, 5 minutes from the bakery. The streets are packed from side to side. There are people everywhere. But what do you guys want to do?
Do we have to go through the market to...
No, you don't. It's on the west.
Okay.
The bakery is on the southwesterly side, point of the marketplace.
Yeah. And it's kind of a little bit in down a few alleyways as well, if I remember correctly.
It is indeed. It's not on one of the main thoroughfares. It's not so much down an alley where it's like dark and dingy and people are like
like a back street.
Yeah, exactly, like a back street.
Like
very much like
market. It's a bit out
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
like a little Parisian kind of back street or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's around 2 houses down or 2 buildings down towards one of the ends of the alley. But you are a couple of minutes away, walking in that direction. Is there anything you two want to do in this with the build-up to arriving at the bakery?
I'm just going to turn to Edivir and just say, if we get time after bakery, we might want to walk through the market and see if we can get some pants for the little one.
That's actually a very good idea. We'll bear that in mind.
Okay.
Now, this plan might get a bit hairy.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I might want you to play on it a little bit.
You have to spell it out a bit easier. Do you want me to be angry? Do you want
All
me
right,
to
so
be
listen,
intimidated?
I'm gonna see how far I can take this guy. I'm gonna plant a bomb, set a timer, and then I'm gonna go in
You weren't
there.
going to blow things up.
Well, hopefully I won't have to. If he tells me the information that I need, we all get out of this alive, and so does his bakery. I'm relying on him to not call my bluff, and I'm not bluffing. So if he's not pulling it, you might need to be like, "Are you sure about this? We need to get out of here. We're gonna die as well. What are you doing?"
Okay, so you're
No,
going to have to keep an eye on the time as well, because I'm not ready to be below.
I pull out the stopwatch I've got,
Good.
or the pocket watch I've got.
Yeah.
I know how to set these timers.
And will this level? I don't know about levels of bombs, but will this level the bakery, or will this just do a?
Well,
I wonder if it goes off. Am I in immediate danger, sort of thing?
his office is in the basement, and his desk backs onto a wall. My plan is to place the bomb on the other side of that wall.
This is
So,
the basement. Can you place it on the other side of the wall, or?
well, I mean, I
dark?
would imagine that there's an adjoining basement that backs
Okay.
onto that. Most of these structures do. This is not the first time I've done this.
I fully believe you.
If that's not the case, then I'll just have to plant it on my way in. But the plan is to walk straight through the front door.
Okay. I will back you up. I will take your lead.
I'll make sure that if it comes to it and the timer runs out, we're both pretty fast. I'll leave enough time for us to get out the blast radius.
Okay.
It's not big. It's not. It's not like. It's like, you know, it'll take him out if it goes off, but anyone else in the room might get a little bit singed, but it shouldn't take down the whole building.
I think we should have a word that if we need just to drop shit and run, you tell me a word.
That's a good idea.
Good word.
What about? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. What do you reckon? I've not. Usually, I don't do this with other people, so I don't need words. But
Well, it has to be a word that we're not going to use accidentally. So, how about smorgasbord?
say that again. What was that?
It was a word I heard at a feast once. It was called a smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. All right. Well, I'm never going to use that in a proper sentence, so we'll go with
That's
that.
what I thought.
Smorgasbord.
I mean, I don't even really know what it means. Maybe it's like a meat, but
All right. So it's going to take me a couple of minutes to set the bomb. For now.
Thank you, Natalie, for that. Thank you.
I don't even know if I said it right, to be fair.
For now, I'll show you where the front door of the place is. You just keep an eye on it. See if there's anyone coming in and out. Try to remain conspicuous. I'm going to go see if I can get into one of the adjoining buildings, into the basement, plant the bomb, and I'll
Wait
come
for you
meet
to
you.
return, and then we'll enter.
Shouldn't take me too long.
Okay. So when we get there, I'm going to try and... So if the front of the bakery opens onto a street, I'm going to be on the other side of the street. Maybe if there's an alleyway facing it, or...
You should just be right.
Wall.
It's kind of like at the end of a little L kind of thing. So just wait at the top of the road.
Yeah, so I'm going
to try to look into browse some market stalls or something like that. I don't know.
I'm kind of going to lean up against the wall and try and just tinker with some of the things that I've got on me. I'm just tinkering, but I'm keeping an eye out for SPD, for City Guard, and for anyone that looks like they're looking at me.
And based on my knowledge of blowing up buildings in the past.
Advanced knowledge.
And also having previously done a 360 loop of this exact location to determine exit points and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, you've already cased this joint. Yeah.
I've cased this joint thoroughly already, so yeah, I know what's going on. Where can I go to the building which I determined would have a basement adjacent to the bakery?
Yeah.
Good. You have such a panic look on your face.
I'm so stressed.
I've just put in look in chat. This is the look of a DM having an internal crisis as his players try to blow up the world he spent years building.
I'm not trying to blow it up. Specifically, my plan is to
I know.
But I will if I have to.
I don't know if you're threatening the fucking NPC or me, and I'm up for both of it.
I'm kind of also threatening myself.
Nobody move, or I'm gonna blow myself up and then everyone in here. Okay, fine. Yeah, so you've cased this joint out before, Edivir. You know that there around the back alley, there are a couple of places that you could go and plant this bomb that are close enough that if it were to go off, the people in the basement would go, ouchie.
Yeah, okay. So the blast is a 20-foot radius, so it's not like a nuclear bomb. Like, it will blow, it will knock down a wall, but it won't blow up a whole building.
Yeah. You place it, you're able to place it substantially close enough that if it were to go off.
Okay, so here's the key thing. So
I heard the plan. I know that.
No. But this is vital. This is vital.
Okay.
So I'm going to set. So I can set the timer for anything up to the end of my turn to 1 hour. That's the space that I have. So I'm going to set it for 15 minutes as soon as my stopwatch hits. I don't know what time of day is it. Oh, I have a stopwatch. What time of day is it?
It is roughly about 10 to 10:30 a.m.
10 to 10:30 a.m. Okay, so basically on the next the next quarter past or 15-minute block, that's when I'm setting the thing to blow up on.
For how? So you're giving yourself 15 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, I'll give it 20.
20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah.
Good. That's what I was thinking. Maybe give yourself enough time to get round to the front of the building.
Well, no, because when I go beep, it'll take me a minute and a half to get back to thingy.
Sure.
For 20 minutes.
You tell me how long you're setting it for. 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Right.
So
okay.
I'm going to time it so that if we're at half past, I'm going to press go on the timer at 22 so that it goes off on the hour.
Okay.
Bang on the hour.
Yep.
I assume this pocket watch has a second hand.
Let's fucking hope.
That's not slow.
Okay, so I go as soon as it's click, I run back and I run back up to Liana.
Okay.
While he's away, did I spot anyone?
Yeah, loads of people. It is market day.
Specifically coming out.
Three different people.
No.
City Guard or anyone particularly keep an eye on me.
No, none of the above.
Okay.
But there are tons of people about, people milling up and down the street. You don't notice anybody come in and out of the bakery. Make a perception check to see what you can see inside.
Another thing that I'm kind of looking for is there excessive small children right in the vicinity of the front of the bakery? Because I'm worried about stuff.
Okay, it's too late for that now, but let's check anyway.
17.
17. Oh yeah, there's like
with stuff. Because I got that was just straight 17.
No, there's not.
So there's
No, there's
like
not.
on
No,
a
there's
Sunday, the Disabled Institute of Wyndmere usually take their kids on an outing, and today's lesson is all about like
there's
the
not.
bakeries of Wyndmere. It's weird that this would happen on a day like today.
It was a day 20, by the way. But go on.
No, you don't see any. Not a cluster of them. There might be a couple of urchins running about here and there, but there's no like cluster of them. Just little Timmy in his wheelchair with like square wheels, purposely like every minute or two. No, joking, we're good. But no cluster of children. And with that, you look into the shop and you see that behind the counter, kneading some fresh dough, is this huge, like very tall, very broad-chested and shouldered individual with a bald head, bit of scarring down one side of their face, very much just kind of like kneading this dough on a board inside the bakery. Like huge muscles. You kind of like look and you're like, oh, okay, and you puff your chest out a little bit, and
Yeah.
he's bigger than you.
Ooh.
Like big
Okay.
fucking big guy, and he's kneading this dough within the bakery. And as you're kind of like looking in, trying not to look suspicious or conspicuous, Edivir comes darting up the alleyway towards you.
All right, we're good. Let's go.
Coming up. I'm almost meeting him, like to go in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Very cool.
Let's knock on the doorway together.
I will enter Briskaline's bakery.
You enter Briskaline's bakery. Diddling, as the door clatters the bell above the door, and as it does, oh, that is too happy. One moment.
As we walk in,
One
and the door
moment.
shuts behind me, I'm going to stand at the door with my back against the door.
Badass.
We're gonna go for this. There we go. The door shuts, and you shut the door and kind of like lean your back against the door, eyeing the individual, whose eyes immediately dart to yours, and immediately, Edivir, you see them reach across and pick up like a very large rolling pin that has been fashioned to not be a rolling pin, but it has nails stuck out of the top. It's very much a makeshift like mallet that has like nails coming out of the top. Very much, could do a lot of damage with this thing, and kind of looks towards you and begins to step across the counter to kind of intersect you and the door that you're heading for.
So you know exactly. I'm heading straight for the door.
Yeah, he intersects you at the thing and just bang, puts his arm across the door and starts like looks at you. Goes, ugh.
I like just stay staring forwards for a minute. And I just look back at Liana and I look up at him and I say, "What was your name again?"
And you see him just kind of like his nostrils flare a little bit, and he goes, ugh, and shakes his head.
It was a bloody good loaf you made last time. I'll give you that. I need to see your boss.
And he points to the barrel in the corner and goes, ugh.
What? Is it the barrel for the weapons, yeah?
No, it's the barrel. It's just a barrel in the corner, and he's pointed towards it, points to you, and then points to the barrel.
I'll take the stairs, thanks.
He immediately just interposes and steps between you and the door and puts his hand just firmly on your chest and then just points the rolling pin.
I move from the door. Is there a close open sort of sign on this door?
Sure, that currently says open.
I turn it,
Okay.
and then I walk up behind Edivir.
Okay.
If you want me to put my weapons down, I've got no problem with that.
And he's grunting to try and signal that you go to the barrel. And
Okay. So I'll walk over and I'll look in the barrel.
No. It's a covered barrel. It's a solid barrel. It's a small barrel, like in the corner of that space that is essentially pointing for you to you sit there, you wait there.
Oh.
I'll take out the stopwatch and I'll say, "This is quite urgent. You're going to want to get him up here as soon as you can."
And do you go over to the barrel to sit down, or do you stay where you are?
I'll just move over to the barrel and kind of lean against it.
Okay, and as you do, he
And
kind
I'll
of
just keep looking at the stopwatch.
he kind of as soon as you walk off, he then immediately kind of takes a half step towards you to kind of very much meet you, Leanna, within inches from your face, and just goes,
You want me to sit on his lap? I mean,
Leanna, we don't have time.
he then just crosses his arms and just points, nods his head that way and grunts again. Edivir, you know from memory that this individual never spoke the last time that you came here either. He is a mute.
fine. And I go and I sit on the barrel, but I do pull my cloak back to reveal my axe on my hip,
Dang.
deliberately.
He kind of sees it, looks up at you, gives a little smirk, shakes his head, raises his eyebrow, and just on the door. And in the middle of the door, which looks completely solid, not a hatch that does that, the door, one little slit of the wood opens inwards, revealing a very small, kind of port within the door, and this kind of face. He goes, "Yeah, what is it, Bruno?" Bruno goes,
That was it.
and the individual kind of looks over and goes, and shuts the port, and you don't see it open again or the door shift, and Bruno just kind of stands with his back to the door, just staring at both of you directly, his gaze not moving from either of you. 2 minutes pass.
Hey,
The door, you hear it, and the door swings open, and a very familiar face greets yours, Edivir, as this gruff-looking human with a very tattered brown beard and a leather cowboy hat on his head steps out and goes, "Well, look who's back from the dead. Thought we'd seen the last of you.
I'm sure you did. Can we have a chat?"
Who am I to refuse a dead man? Sure. Well, you know the drill. Leave the weapons up here and follow me. That means you too, sweetheart.
I am no one's sweetheart. I look to Eddie to see whether I should relinquish my weapon or not.
I'll nod.
I hand him over.
Okay. You both start walking down the steps of the Biscayne Bakery into the basement, and as you do, the individual in the hat goes, "Well, I have to hand it to you, man. You really did go out with a bang last time, didn't you?" How'd you get out?
God, my ways. I'm a lot harder to kill than you might think.
Well, yeah, it seems so. We could put you to work. We have need of men like you. And, well, people of your stature, too.
Why don't we take a seat and talk about that?
And as you go down the stairs, you see the long, sweeping blonde lock of Bearhund currently sat with his feet on the table. You see that there's, as you go down the stairs, Leanna, so Edivir, you have seen this layout before, but Leanna, it is quite dark down here. It isn't dimly lit, but it's not bright by any means. There are a couple of candelabras, and on a couple of tables, you see that there is a large circular table in the middle of the room, couple of stools, and behind at the far end from where you go down the stairs, at the table, there is this individual with a flow of blonde, matted hair, looks humanoid, kind of like very crooked yellowish teeth, has very much like very hairy, like if he had black hair, like he'd very much look like very darkened hair across his arms and like right down the back of his hands and across his knuckles and shit. Like he's a very hairy bloke, right? But it's very like blonde, and he kind of sat back and he goes, "Oh, you! I didn't think we'd see you again."
Yes, well, I wanted to talk to you about that actually. And as we're walking down the stairs, I kind of just make a brief eyes to Liana to stay close to the other guy.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I'm right beside the other guy. Like maybe a little bit either in front, depending on where he's like making him walk. But I am right beside him.
And instead of sitting at the opposite end of the table to this guy as I did last time, I grab a chair and I drag it along the floor and place it next to him. And then I take a cigarette out. And I'm being very sort of slow and kind of lackadaisical about this as I'm doing it. And I just go to light the cigarette, and before I light, I just say to him, like, once again, if that's it. I light the cigarette. I'll take out the stopwatch or the pocket watch, and I'll put it on the table in front of him.
Okay. So, what do I owe this visit? Back from the dead.
Well,
I've heard
for me, death is only a brief inconvenience.
Not what I've heard. Someone with your rap. Someone that breaks out of prison cells and runs the SBC amok around the city. You've got a reputation, and I like that. I like that. Maybe I misjudged you. Maybe I took you for somebody more expendable. Maybe I was wrong.
You were wrong, and that was a mistake you made. I need to know something. I didn't come here for a job. All I want to know is where the job came from.
Oh.
And you're gonna tell me who that is, aren't you, Bernd?
See, a man of your experience, caliber. You've been around the block. You know how this works.
Oh, I have.
And you know who I am. You and I have done business together. But
And you know
you come in here now and you demand answers. And that was the mistake you made.
Oh, is it?
What the hell do I owe you an answer? Why should I tell you a damn thing?
Let me tell you why, Bernd. Because you got in my way. You see, this job that I did for you, it was small potatoes. It was a means to an end, a way of gathering resources, because I'm on my own mission already. In fact, I share that mission with thousands, hundreds, tens of thousands of other people. Do you know what this means? And I'll pull down the cloak and I'll reveal the bleeding rose tattoo on my chest. You recognize that from anywhere?
Another dagger for a cause, a dead cause. I see. You know, I knew there was something about you.
Let me correct you there. You call it a dead cause.
What would you call it?
I'd call it a mission. Like I said, a mission I've been on with thousands of other people. But you know what the problem is?
You see him visibly chuckle to himself. He goes, "Oh, please."
Every time we try and get closer to completing this mission, to reaching our goal, it's not armies that get in our way. It's not city walls. It's not armadas. It's individuals. One or two people pulling the strings, getting in everyone else's way.
And let me guess.
My part of that mission is to get people out of the way. Now, if I've dedicated my life, my soul, to getting people, individuals, out of other people's way, what do you think I do to the people who get in mine? Burned.
Make me an intimidation check.
And I look at the stopwatch on the table.
Okay, make me an intimidation check.
Can I have advantage because I have a big strong leonid next to me?
No, you can have a straight roll this time for now.
Yeah, that's fine. Fine. Cool.
And as you're saying this, he's kind of like smiling. He is just kind of
18.
18.
I've only got a +1, but it was a 17.
You see him kind of...
Think about it, Burhan. Think about what you hired me to do.
Oh, there's no mistake. You're a resourceful individual. See, you even managed to steal life from the very grips of death. Death that you weren't supposed to come back from.
All I want is a name, and we can all walk away from this.
Are you threatening me?
Oh,
Because I don't respond well to threats.
I threatened you before I even walked in through that front door, my friend. You see, if you don't tell me what I want to know, none of us are leaving this room.
Well...
And you have until, and I tap on the top of the hour, 11 a.m. to tell me. Which looks like it's only, how long left?
About 4 minutes.
About 4 minutes. So, if you need a bit of time to think, I've afforded you that luxury, but you probably want to give me enough time to go and undo what I've done.
And let me guess, if I don't give you the name, you're gonna, friends of yours are gonna bust down the door and the cavalry will arrive and you'll do what exactly? Slay me and my friend here.
I'll do exactly what you hired me to do, Burhand. A little demolition job. Although this time, a little closer to home. Time's ticking.
Tick-tock, little mouse.
And you see his facial expression just drop a little bit, and you see him like shoot a look over to the individual in the corner who kind of like eyes both of you and then just kind of like raises an eyebrow.
I wonder if it's only flour that you store here, Burhand, or maybe something a little bit more flammable might come through this place every now and then. Could be bad.
Now, look, let's don't do anything.
Am I lying to you, Burhand?
Both regret.
You seem like someone who can spot a lie. Am I lying?
You
I
might
look him dead in the eye.
Okay. Seems you and I have reached somewhat of mutual understanding, and now you've brought chips to the table. See, the mistake you made last time was coming in without the cards, nothing up your sleeve. Apart from one thing. Trust. See, people like you in desperate situations are the easiest people to not only manipulate, but to set on their merry way. And all it took was a few little words. See, I worked you out as soon as you stepped foot in here. I knew your type. I've met your type before. Got a cause, a chip on your shoulder. See, I look dead in your eyes and I'm
sure this is very cathartic for you, Burhand. The time's ticking away. Just want to remind you about that. The name.
Make me a persuasion check. You can have
No
advantage.
monologuing.
No monologuing. There will be no monologuing when Edivir is present. Thank you.
I would like to have some fun too, please. please let me.
That's why I let you get that far.
I know. Please let me.
Oh, man, I nearly had an 18 there, but it rolled over. So it's 13 plus persuasion. I don't think it's that good. No, it's
That was with
13,
advantage.
13.
Oh, it was. Yeah. Okay, that's better. So it's -1, so it's 14.
14. Okay. Okay, so you want a name. You've been in this bloody arena before. You know the game. You really think I have a name? You think that these sort of high-priced jobs come with a handshake and a sit-down meal with the person that's putting the bankroll up? No.
I know a businessman as astute as you wouldn't take anything without some kind of lead.
I don't know a name, all right? I don't operate like that. My line of work operates purely and simply on an agreement, payment of such, and consequences if not. I don't know a name. However, what I do know might be good enough. See, this individual paid a lot of money. And we're not talking a small sum of gold coin here. We're talking run away to the countryside, buy a nice little house, spend the rest of your days supping expensive wine.
I get the picture.
Yeah. We're talking a large, vast sum. This individual comes from a position of throwing that kind of sum around and not scared of the consequences on their own turf. Do you really think that somebody with that kind of bankroll is from the middle or lower city? No, use your fucking head.
I've already worked that out. I need something I don't know. Where did you meet them? Where did the link come
I didn't
from?
meet them, all right? And they kind of like glance down at the stopwatch with 2 minutes remaining, and he kind of like, you see like a couple of beads of sweat start drip down the face. They kind of shoot a panicked look over, and he goes, "How do I know you're not bluffing?"
You don't.
You know I know your face. There's nowhere you can hide in this city if you cause any damage to me, my friends, or my fucking business. I trust you know that.
In a
which
minute,
means
45 seconds, it won't matter what you know or what face I have.
Look, what does it matter to me? I don't give a fuck, right? We didn't meet the person that put the bankroll up at all.
Then who did
right?
you meet? Who
we
might
met
know?
their confidant.
Who
right?
is?
Look, I don't know them. I didn't meet them. He did. And he points over to the hat. Now, look, take them. Try to be. Just look, please. It's all I know. We got paid for a job handsomely. We did the job. I'm sorry. And look, stop whatever's about to happen.
Edivir stands up and begins to walk towards the room and just tells Leanna to bring him, sort of, he like gives a nod.
No.
Nods towards him.
You, and he points towards you, Edivir. You either stay here or you do. Stop whatever you've got planned and come back here and we can talk properly. I'll tell you what you want to know.
You're not in the bargaining position here.
Your loss. Because I have a substantial fucking fortune behind me that might be worth your while. Somebody...
I look to Leanna, see what she wants to do.
I'll stay.
And as you look over to Leanna, he goes, "Tick-tock!"
Having her words thrown back at her, she eyes him straight. I'll keep the rat from running. You go and do what you need to do.
I'll run up the stairs and I'll run to go disarm the bomb.
Okay, so you race upstairs and he kind of like, Leanna, left downstairs, you hear you hear an audible go like,
I'm going to reset the timer. I'm not going to disarm it.
Okay. Let's just wait a second.
Cool.
Leanna, you kind of look over to Bearhund and he's kind of like gripping his like fists and cracking his knuckles, and you can see him clearly playing out some shit in his head.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like shoots like daggers towards you. Leans back in his chair and kicks his feet up. Goes into a drawer and pulls a cigar out and lights it, all while staring and like direct eye contact, and lights it.
I don't break
And
the eye
then
contact.
blows the smoke in your general direction. Don't like blow it off to the side, just...
Mm-hmm.
So, want to make some money?
Speak.
How do you want to earn 5,000 gold pieces?
You do. For the first time, he sees a flicker of some emotion cross her face.
If it's not gold, you give me the price. What do you want? Ticket out of here on an airship to a destination of your choice. Some property within the city. Name your price and do it quickly. And he flicks the ash of the cigar and takes another long drag.
A week ago, that would have worked. This cat isn't to be bought. Sorry.
You don't know what I'm asking you to do yet?
If it's to betray my friends, it's worth more than gold.
10,000.
Do it. Just split half with my next character.
Honestly, bet. Let's go.
No, I'm joking.
What exactly are you asking me to do for coin?
When he returns, I want you to crush his fucking skull.
Oh, I've riled him up now, haven't I? Oh, I've hurt his little feefies.
Crush his skull. 10,000 gold coins. An airship ticket out of here to a destination of your choice. You leave a murderer, but you leave a free one to go anywhere you want to go in the world.
You look at you see a savage. I'm so much more.
You're absolutely incredibly incorrect. I don't look at you and see a savage. I look at you and see a resourceful individual who knows a good offer when she sees one. I see somebody that has clearly had a tough life up till now, and who is now staring at the opportunity to have a much better one. And all you have to do is a simple task. It's a heartbeat. I'm sure you've stopped many of them in your time. Choice is yours. But there's my offer. 10,000 gold pieces today, before you even leave this establishment. And an air ticket on a airship to any island throughout Aerilon. And when you get there, I have connections all over this world. I can set you up with employment, with a house, with a new life.
Stop talking. Need to think.
And you see this this wry smile cross his face, and he goes, tick-tock. And then takes another drag of his cigar as Edivir walks down. Edivir, you run up to the alleyway and you reset the timer for how long?
Another 20 minutes.
Okay, no problem.
And then I'm also going to take some of the leftover materials to make what looks like to the journeyman or to the novice could be a bomb.
Okay.
You know, like a satchel with some tape on it and some wicks and stuff coming out of it and stuff like that. I'll make a fake one.
Okay, and you do that and return. So after a couple of minutes, Liana, if that, Edivir walks back down the stairs. And Bearhun kind of looks, and you see him put the cigar down, and he kind of leans forward with a worried look on his face again. He's like, "Is it done? Is it done?"
I'll put the fake bomb on the table.
Can I? I get a
crush
look?
his skull? Yes, you can. By all means, whenever you're ready.
This is such a cathartic experience for me, by the way. How annoyed this guy is.
Did Liana get a look at the other bomb while he was making it before we left the house? I want to know whether
he didn't
know
make
if-
Yeah, I made it while everyone was there. I made it right.
Oh, the actual bomb.
Yeah.
Real one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you spotted that one. Yeah.
So I can tell that this is a fake.
Looks different. It looks chucked together. The other one is a tight packed thing. This is just a mishmash.
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to roll perception or whatever.
I would like an investigation check rather than a perception.
Makes more sense.
You have no experience with bombs and stuff. You're very much playing like spot the difference with.
I should have made it more clear that I was like trying to make it look like obviously not what I did before. But
That's a 4.
A 4. Kind of looks like a bomb to you, Liana. So it's done. Right. Like I said, I never met the guy or woman who's behind this. My colleague here got a tip. Tip that somebody wanted something rather sinister doing. And there's only... Look, there's 5 bad motherfuckers in this city. 4 of them send me birthday cards, right? If you want something like this doing, people quite often come to me because they know that that sort of stuff is stuff that I can make happen. You see, we bake all sorts of bread here. Bread for parties, bread for single households, bread for government buildings, bread for all occasions. You were our latest baker. What a wonderful baker you were. See, when doing a job like that, you need to leave as little breadcrumbs as possible. Why leave breadcrumbs when you can leave the baker themselves? You understand it was strictly business, right?
Sure. You understand that I don't appreciate people trying to get me killed.
People die every day all over dumb shit. Unfortunately, you were just one of those dumb shits.
And people die every day for things that they really deserve to die for.
You put a stopwatch on my table when I came here. When you came in here. The clock's been ticking on me for years. I'm always 1 second ahead, though. Every turn. See, we got a tip that this job needed doing. And with a job like that, like I said, comes a hefty price tag. But there's a certain element of risk, caution that needs to be had with jobs like this, so my confidant here, my friend, took it upon themselves to meet this individual and get the details. Do you remember what they look like? He goes, and the individual with the cowboy hat goes, I meet people every day, but I'm good with faces. Yeah, I know what he looks like.
And
I can tell you what he looks like. Elven individual, silver hair, like greasy almost. You know the type of shit you'd get from rubbing your fucking head in oil all day? Like, ugh. It's just disgusting. Dress nice, though.
Okay, so I'm going to ask for an insight check for now, in a minute, but I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because right now, Edivir's thought process is, okay, so these guys probably know that we're involved with Malgrave, and they're probably telling us about they might be telling us Malgrave to get us off the real scent. Like, I'm still thinking that even though they're kind of telling me what I expected to hear, the fact that they're telling me what I expected to hear has me more suspicious.
Okay.
so I'm insight checking as to whether they're laying it on a bit thick and just telling me what I hear.
Roll me an insight check and then roll me a history check as well, please. Yeah, this, look, this guy... Look, have you ever been to the high city? Some classy establishments, you know? I have to say, never quite been to the Crystal Chalice before. First time. They serve some good ale.
And that's where you met this individual?
Yeah, it was. Wasn't there long. See, when you're in an establishment like that, people tend not to look your way. Well, for the most part, I drew a few glances. Don't really look like I belong. Met him. He gave me the rundown, what the target was. Gave them the cost. They paid half then. I threatened them a bit as to what would happen if they don't fucking pay. We reached an agreement. We left. Then you By wondrous happenchance, wandered into our fucking bakery. You know, we sent fucking word out to all reaches of this city, looking for people that needed some work, capable, like, handle themselves, had a particular set of skills that we were looking for. Tana fucking delivered. Not that he fucking knew. That man will give jobs to anyone as long as he gets a silver penny for it. Bearhun just kind of like raises his hand to him and just kind of like, as if to signal him enough's enough.
Okay, I got 18 on the insight.
Yeah.
I got, you said the second one was history?
Yep.
+2, so 13 on the history.
With the insight, you don't get the impression that they're lying at all. He doesn't give you the impression he's lying. What strikes you with your history check is he's describing someone you've met before.
Yeah.
And it isn't Malgrave.
No.
But you have.
Is it, so am I right? This is Alara?
No. It's a male individual, elven, with silver hair, and you've met them before.
Malgrave's butler.
Oh, it's the butler. There we go. Okay, cool.
Okay,
we're on the same thing.
Sneaky chap, dude.
I don't know.
I don't look at Discord while I'm in the middle of RP situations.
And so Bearhun raises his hand and he goes, "There. Now," and he kind of like glances over at Leanne and go, "Is there any other business that we need to conduct while we're here?" "So be it. Oh, and hey, I almost forgot." He pulls a drawer out and he pulls out a small coin pouch and drops it on the table in front of you. He goes, "Never did pay you, did we? Well, there you go, for a job well done. Go on."
You keep it. Technically, I never got to complete the mission.
No.
At least not the one you sent me on. Maybe the one you intended me for, but
you did
not the one I agreed to.
Well, it's yours for the taking, and there's plenty more where that came from. Leanna, do you do anything? Would you like to do anything, Leanna?
Yeah. Okay. So he's behind the desk. Where are we standing? I need to know.
You're at the
positions of people.
so Edivir is at the table, sat down around 5 feet away from Bearhund. You are at the base of the stairs, around 25 to 30 feet from Bearhund and Edivir, and the individual with the cowboy hat is about 10 feet from you, with interposing between you. So he's between you and the stairs and Edivir. So you kind of come down the stairs and you're off towards one of the walls, and he's at the base of the stairs between you and Edivir, but also you and the stairs, if that makes sense. So he's very much where the balustrade is on the stairs, and he's just kind of leant up on the post, very much like.
Okay.
Right.
So
I think that
Leanna moves forward.
Okay.
Puts both hands on Edivir's shoulders.
we should be taking our leave now. Our business is concluded.
Well, gold's gold. And she reaches over his shoulder and takes the pouch of gold that he placed on the desk.
Okay.
And goes.
So you don't know that it's gold. It's just a pouch that's on the table, but you grab that.
She's presuming, yeah.
Yep.
So I don't buy. I'm not able to be bought from rats. And she kind of lifts, like with his shoulders, lifts Edivir up.
Yeah, Edivir stands up, kicks the chair back with the backs of his knees. Burned.
And he kind of like nods his head and like looks up towards Juliana with a bit of a smile and just says, "Everyone can be bought."
As
leans back in his chair.
As we're going to walk up the stairs, I'm going to put a foot on the top stair and grab the railing, and I'm just going to turn around. I'm just going to say, You should move your desk. I'll go up the stairs.
With a questioning tone, I say, smorgasbord?
Not just yet, but not entirely off the table.
Okay.
How are we doing? How are we doing on timer?
You've got 10 minutes. You set it for 20. You've not
Another
been...
20, yeah.
Yeah. So you've not... Yeah, you've got about 7 to 10 minutes, give or take. I know it's a 3 minutes is a lot in this circumstance, but you've got plenty of time to get back to it and disarm it if you so choose to.
I will disarm the bomb, yes.
Okay. Well, you are both able to freely leave the bakery.
Yeah, we'll collect our stuff.
Yeah, collect the weapons.
Are there any loaves out?
Yeah, it's a bakery, dude.
Cool. I'll flick a silver onto what's his I forgot his name again. Bruno. I'll flick a silver onto Bruno's
We don't talk about him.
table, and I'll take a loaf. And I'll say,
as you reach down to grab one of the loaves, he grabs your hand and goes, and just holds your hand there, reaches under the counter, and places another one in your hand, and just smiles and nods, and then literally and
I'll take a bite of it. And I said, I meant what I said, by the way.
It's honestly the best. It's like
it's real fucking good. I'll rip it in half and give half to...
It's the best bread in Wyndmere. This is a fucking shady establishment, but that dude can bake, bro.
That boy can bake.
So you guys head off into the city.
I'll loop back round. I'll disarm the bomb, and then we'll go off.
Excellent.
And I'll just say to Liana, "Fucking well done. That was great. I'm sorry for leaving you down there. I hadn't planned for that." But...
She doesn't really talk much. She kind of nods when you say that.
What did you mean by?
In her brain.
What do you mean by can't be bought? I assume he made an offer to take me out.
He did.
Yeah, I thought he might. Thanks for not taking it. It's okay. I would have too. But it's the choice you made that matters.
It wasn't the gold he offered me that could possibly have persuaded me. He offered me a ride on an airship to anywhere I could go, and after our conversation on the way here, you can understand why that would be tempting.
Is that what you want to do?
Deeply.
Then we'll do it. As soon as we're out of this mess. Or eventually, at least. There's other matters among the group that need attending to.
In the meantime...
I look in the pouch that I grabbed.
That's it! In your face!
Boom! A bomb goes up!
She doesn't check it for traps, to be fair. She just opens it, so it
I'm trying to say, that would be so good.
That'd be a genius move, wouldn't it? But, no.
Gave us a live grenade.
So, if you remember back to the words that Bearhun said, here is your payment for your job, and as you open the satchel, there are 4 sets of handcuffs rattling around in the bottom of the sack.
Should have blew him up.
In the meantime, across the city, towards the eastern wall, between 2 huge bookshelves full of books, sat at a desk with candlelight and stacks of books all around them, we come to you, Virgil, in the Wyndmere Library.
I was able to get in very easily. I had a whole thing planned, but that's fine. If I could just walk in there and not be bothered by it, it doesn't matter. That's fine. Cool.
Yeah, so you are in the library. You're reading. Oh, I've put the wrong music on. I have put a magic shop, and the music you can hear is, in fact, a... whatever that is. Anyway, there you go.
We can do this fairly quickly. Is this the kind of library where I can just lend books out? Like if I get a library card, can I just
You haven't
a
got
few.
you in fact had to get a library card to go in here, and
Cool. Yes.
they provided you one, and this lovely old halfling lady behind the counter explained that if you get 4 days per book, any late charges will be charged directly to the card, and until you bring the books back, you cannot lend any more out. Late charges are a silver piece per day, and there's only certain types of books you can take. There's 2 books per person that you can take out of the library, only from the common sections. Any of the older transcriptions must be kept in the library at all times. No food or drink near the books. And when you're in here, you must be respectful of everybody else who's in here to learn and read. But we have books on everything. We have encyclopedias, we have maps, and some Haynes manuals. They're wonderful in terms of how, if you're looking for inner workings on stovetops, then we have all sorts of stuff for you. Children's books.
500 I need something for.
We have a few. Honestly, when the first cart was made, they had to make a manual as to how
Guys,
it was
he's
all put
sneaking in a
together.
monologue. He's sneaking in a monologue. Don't
Let me have fun.
The librarian,
Yeah.
BBG.
So just have a peruse around, my dear. Anything takes your fancy, but we are shutting for lunch in an hour, so hurry up. Here's your library card.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we need a picture. Smile.
So I would, yeah. He just does his best, sort of gets his shoulder nice and just does a nice pose and a smile for his library card.
Now let's take your fingerprints.
Yeah, sure, he does that as well. He'll just.
She's legitimately joking, and as you put your hand out, she goes, "Oh, you young'uns have no sense of humor anymore. Here, have your card. Off you go, dear. Have tons of fun. The world of imagination and knowledge and wonder is amongst you."
I love her enthusiasm. It's so good.
Thanks, guys. I really enjoyed that. No one interrupted me, and that was great. Continue. What would you like to do, Dan? That was great. I love that.
So I would just ask a quick question on if books on things like curses, curse removal, transmutation, there's an arcane practice and those kind of things were books you could take out, or if they have to stay within the library.
She kind of explains that it depends on the book, man, the author, like how many copies they've got within the library. Each library typically has like 1 or 2 copies of each book. If it's the last copy, then it can't be taken out because somebody already has booked it out. There's a whole system, man, but she'd have to check the database.
That's fine. I'll make her go through her Apple One. She can look through the.
As soon as you ask her one question about one book, she spends 20 minutes piling through this book and goes, "Oh, we don't have that," and you've already fucked off and collected the next book. Like, fucking hell.
So, if I could only take 2 out, I will specifically look for a book on lycanthropy and then the nature of curses to take out if I can.
Okay. Yep.
I will also take and then I will do an hour of reading on just if I can find books on like not curse removal, but maybe dismantling them, or sort of would that come under the nature of just a normal curse book where it's sort of these are how they work, this is how they undo, or would there be separate tomes for those kind of things?
Well, it's going to take you a lot longer than an hour to kind of, are you like skim reading these tomes? Like
I'll spend all day in here if I have to. Like he'll leave for an hour while they go for lunch, then come back in and start re-going through things. So
okay, there are plenty of books around curses, the contraction of curses, the removal of such. There are folk tales on cursed individuals. There are fables of epic tales of individuals who have contracted and thus removed curses over this lengthy fucking like tale of like heroism and shit. There is a host of books in and around it. There are a few books around
specifically
around lycanthropy, life as a werewolf. There's there's werewolf, a memoir. You, me, and the full moon. There's
lycanthropy for dummies.
Yeah. Bite me once, wish you didn't. There's a few
lycanthropic love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll take some porno. That's fine.
Fangs and all. There's a host of different books, man. I love us.
Glory for furries.
Yeah, exactly. Man. Like,
I'm in the yiff section. Oh dear.
Yeah. Some love stories like "Howl with Me at Midnight." There's "Let Me Shed My Skin Around You." There's.
Okay. Let's...
Okay, so yeah, if I have to leave for an hour or so, I will do specific research and write down as much information as I can, which I don't need now, obviously, but on the nature of lycanthropy itself, how it is generally removed, its history within sort of, that kind of thing, so I can try and trace how it got more complicated to get rid of it, etc., that kind of thing. And then I will take out just a sort of like an advanced transmutation book just for myself, so I will take that physically out to read at home. So I'll do the bulk of the lycanthropy curse reading there over a course of like 5 hours with a break in between.
Yep.
And then take an advanced transmutation book out.
Yep. And the lycanthropy book you take is more of a anatomy study one, so it's very much about it's very much like a book that like somebody was looking to like go into a lot of the like the blood elements of it and the the like I say the anatomy elements of a werewolf and that type of thing. So it's very much like a lot of factual knowledge. I say factual, but rather than if you fucking throw a toad over your shoulder on the 3rd Tuesday of February, it will remove it, like that kind of shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm taking the best information I can find from all of these books on what would make a substantial curse removal, or at least a way forward.
So make me, I'd like, how many hours did you say? 5?
Yeah, let's say 5.
Okay, I'd like 5 consecutive intelligence checks, please.
Okay. Luckily, intelligence is my thing.
CD.
Right, that's twice. I'll let you off the first time. The next roll you make is with disadvantage. That's
I opened
twice.
a message on Instagram from my friend and it was real. Sorry.
It's all right. So the next roll's with disadvantage, Chris. Just zero. Cool.
That's fine.
Cool.
So the first one is a 21.
Yep.
Second one is a dirty 20.
Yep.
Third one is a 14.
Okay.
Another 14.
Okay.
And the last one is a 18.
18. Excellent. So, bear with me a second. So, I'll just go through this.
Okay.
Just so you're aware, you glean a lot of information in and around lycanthropy and the curse, how it's contracted, the effects, a study over time of somebody who's contracted it, and the type of behavioralistic elements to it. So, bear with me. So you understand that lycanthropes and lycanthropies, lycanthropy cursed individuals are typically humanoids or giants who can transform themselves into animals. In its natural form, a lycanthrope looks like any other member of its kind, though natural lycanthropes and those who have been afflicted with the curse for a long time tend to have or acquire features reminiscent of their animal forms. In animal form, a lycanthrope resembles a powerful version of the normal animal, but on close inspection, its eyes, which often glow red in the dark, show a faint spark of unnatural intelligence. Lycanthropy can spread like a disease. Sometimes a lycanthrope begins life as a normal humanoid who subsequently contracts lycanthropy after being wounded by another person who has contracted lycanthropy. Really simple stuff so far. Other lycanthropes can be born into it and are known as natural lycanthropes. Okay. You obviously glean that when in lycanthropy form, it is recorded information that they favor tactics, pack tactics typically found within their animal kin and the form in which they are trying taken. So they tend to be slightly more aggressive within combat and possess the senses of its animal form, typically scent and low light vision. And it has a deep empathy for animals of its own animal form.
Okay.
An afflicted lycanthrope damaged in combat can become overwhelmed by rage, causing it to change into its animal form involuntarily. So somebody with the curse who gets overwhelmed in combat or hurt to a specific point can change form involuntarily. You have deemed from these books that although its bite carries the disease of a lycanthropy, it has preternatural cunning and is strong and possesses a particular damage reduction to unmagical weapons unless they are silvered weapons. So they get damage resistance. Okay. Bear with me a second. There is a lot to go through here. I apologize for everyone in the cheap seats. So, lycanthropy as an affliction. When somebody contracts lycanthropy through a bite or other means, no symptoms appear, usually, until the first night of a full moon, and on that night the afflicted character usually involuntarily assumes animal forms and forgets his or her own identity, temporarily becoming an NPC, so to speak.
Okay.
Right?
That's right.
What kind of book is this?
Huh?
Yeah.
It's a book of rule.
It's called the Dungeon Master's Guide.
However, the individual who remains in animal form until the next dawn. It is often found that the transformation into the lichen form is entirely involuntary over a period of time until they either gain control over the disease or curse or become more aligned and attuned to that transformation. Changing form again changing form can have residual effects such as exhaustion and other effects such as headaches and prolonged periods of drowsiness, and it can also have the effect that bright sunlight can obviously then affect and hurt their vision and thus causing headaches and things like that, right? The curing of lycanthropy.
Yeah. We got there.
Told you there's a lot to go through. So,
no, it's fine. I'm the research man.
Afflicted individuals. There are numerous different reports on how to remove this curse. Some people believe that by eating a sprig of belladonna, also called wolfsbane, or a potion of wolfsbane, within 1 hour between midnight of the midnight hour within a full moon, can attempt to shake off the affliction. If there is, however, conflicting reports that this has been unsuccessful. There are reports that those with divine healing magic, such as clerics, have also attempted to use divine spellcraft, such as the remove spell curse on an afflicted lycanthrope, and there have also been reports that that has been unsuccessful. There have been a number of different ways that people have tried to do this, and only a couple of different ways that have been reported as being successful, which is by either a combination of 1 or 2 or 3 different methods at the same time.
Okay. But the two that come up the most is the wolfsbane potion and then divine magic to help that along the way. In
exactly that. However, there is a suffix in here that states quite clearly that to break this affliction not only takes multiple outside kind of influences such as the wolfsbane, the curse removal spells and such, but also has a lot to do with the individual themselves and their willpower to overcome such an affliction. The true nature of an individual is often bound to the curse. Therefore, if somebody has, again, Leanna, we're not kind of pointing fingers here, but if somebody has, an affiliation, anger issues, is quick to temper, things like that, it is a lot harder to kind of break that. But you get a lot more information. You've got a couple of books to continue reading, but you get a lot of information on the actual curse and the removal of such and the contraction of such.
Cool. Okay. So once Virgil feels like he's got as much as he needs, he takes the advanced transmutation book, signs it out.
Okay.
And just on the way home, he's going to stop into, I wrote it down because I want to remember it, the Mystic Emporium.
Oh, that's nice. I'll put my magic shop music back on.
Is the Mystic Emporium through the market, or is it a different area to the open air market on Sunday?
Bear with me. The Mystic Emporium.
Where do your things lie, DM?
Say again, sorry?
I said, where do your things lie? Tell me.
So the Mystic Emporium is quite towards the northern border of the middle city, kind of in the shadow of the wall to the highest city of Wyndmere. And you've never been here before, I believe.
No,
so it's not so much on your way back to your house. It's very much a good half an hour diversion.
If I went through the market, would it take longer?
You would have to go through the market as such to get there. From where you are, you're kind of doing an up and then back down. In fact, you're sort of circumventing the market. If you went through the market, you kind of be going straight up, back down, and across. So from where your property is to where the library is, you've just done a straight shot across the middle city, essentially.
Cool. Okay. He feels like he has a little bit of time, so he's just going to go through the market square and just sort of mingle with the crowds in his very dressed down state and make up no gold because he knows he can just sort of peruse with the crowds for a bit. I'm just going to look through the different market, just peruse the market stalls, quick glances over if I see any sort of arcane sellers or people trying to flog ware that look sort of potentially magical. Because I just want to find some magic ink, essentially.
Okay,
so
if you're on
arcane infused ink.
It's going to be difficult to find that in the marketplace. There isn't any magical items sellers within this marketplace. It is typically, especially when you're looking at shops and stuff, it's typically places like the Wandering Wares marketplace that would have salesmen of that nature. It's not really the middle city marketplace. This is the place that you go to find off-brand boots that have the swoosh on the opposite way around on the boot.
Adidas,
dog beds, fucking
every different color of those sunglasses with the slats on them.
Exactly.
Every single color.
Yeah, somebody just selling curtains, like that type of shit, right? That's the kind of marketplace you're in.
Okay. Well, you know that from experience then, so I'll just circumvent the marketplace altogether and just head to the Mystic Emporium.
Okay. So you head to the Mystic Emporium. It is open. It is one of the rare shops that is open on a Sunday. So you go in and behind the counter is
I don't know if you have grades of ink in your world, but I just want some. So like so I don't know if there's like high grade, mid grade, low grade arcane inks or anything like that. It's just standard.
One bottle of high grade magic infused and arcane infused ink is going to be something like 40 gold pieces per, for a larger tub. You're going to talk middle, kind of middling arcane ink is going to be around 20 gold pieces, and then sort of like your lower grade arcane ink is going to be about 5 to 10 gold pieces depending on the size of the bottle, right?
All right, I'll take two of the middle for 40 then.
Yep.
Two of those for 40, and some more high quality paper for spells and stuff like that. So
okay.
Stuff.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that you take 20 reams of high quality parchment as well as a decent bottle of arcane ink, and it's probably going to run you about 25 gold pieces.
Cool. Then I shall give him that and buy those things.
Okay, perfect.
I will also inquire about any spell scrolls he may have for sale or anything in the way of arcana that I may be able to purchase or transcribe.
Yeah, no problem. So he does have a couple of spell scrolls, that not many, but he has a couple of spell scrolls that you might be interested in. Let me just do this 1 second. 2 seconds. Apologies.
I like the music shop, the magic shop noises though.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Might sleep to this tonight.
So he has a spell scroll of Tranquil Waters.
Okay.
He has a spell scroll of Flame Burst.
Mm-hmm.
And also a spell scroll of Arcane Shield.
Okay.
The spell scroll of Tranquil Waters is 100 gold pieces.
Oh, Jesus.
The spell scroll of Flame Burst is 250 gold pieces, and the Arcane Shield is 400 gold pieces.
What spells are these?
These
Actual names of them. What are you selling me?
these are homebrewed spell scrolls that do different things, and until you buy them, I'm not going to tell you what they do.
Okay. I have a proposition for this guy to try and finagle something. I have a deal in mind.
Mm-hmm.
If for, let's say, half price, there's the spell of Tranquil Wars or whatever it is. If he lets me write it out in normal ink on normal paper and then transcribe it myself, he keeps the scroll and I give him 50 gold. Do you think that's something you'd go for? So basically, I'm taking the scent, not the flower. He can keep the scroll, get some money out of it, but I still get a spell.
Yeah, he's not going to be interested in a deal like that.
He makes money.
Okay, make me a percent.
I'm pretty sure by the rules, a spell scroll is used in the transcribing. Of the spell.
It is. Yeah, I'm
but
pretty
you have
certain.
to use magical ink and magical paper. If I just use ordinary ink and paper to transcribe the basic shape of it, but don't actually use magical ingredients, it shouldn't transfer.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have the spell.
Yeah, but then I would transfer it into my book.
No, but then yes, but then he doesn't have the spell, which is worth 250 gold pieces.
Yeah, but he would though.
No, because the spell it's consumed. The spell scroll is consumed in the transcribing of it. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you just write on another piece of paper first. Like the magic of the scroll is transfused as well as.
I thought you had to use magical ink to do it. On like spell grade paper is my point. So if I use normal ink and normal paper, I'm just taking the basic of a spell.
But then you wouldn't be able to transfer that standard ink and paper rune into the spell in your spell book because you wouldn't be using a spell scroll to do it. You'd be using a
the spell. Yeah, he either way. Danny's not going to go for that. For small for small potatoes, he's not going to take. He's not going to do that at all.
It's shit's too expensive then, so I am just going to leave and go home.
Okay, no problem.
Well, what the hell was that?
And they'll probably realise I didn't take any keys and be stuck outside.
Okay, so you start heading home. Okay, in the meantime, Kyria and Pim, you guys head off into the middle city to do a day of busking and some stuff. This is what I've been waiting for. Oh god, I've just put you in a blacksmith shop. That is not what I meant to do at all.
Just as a heads up, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be casting Disguise Self simply so that so I'm still got my same top physique and stuff, but I'm gonna have human legs.
Yep.
And I'm gonna have no horns, and my hair is just gonna be slightly more grown out. So it's kind of like people might do a double take, but I'm very much I don't have the face tattoos or anything like that. So it's kind of just like a human version of Kyria with slightly pointed ears. I look somewhat like Pim.
Love that. Oh, so you guys are going to be like a little duet. I love this. Yeah. This is so cool. Okay, cool. So you disguise self as such, and you both head off into the middle city.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what is it you guys are going to be wanting to do?
So I think kind of initially noticing that most of the shops are closed, I think we'd initially kind of head to the hustle and bustle, which would likely get us to the marketplace. I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it we need to get? So we need to get you some clothes. We need to get some food for the house, and
Paint.
Paint. Okay. I was going to get badges.
Not paint. Chains.
Oh. Okay.
I love. Kiri's just like, cool. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so. Chains, you're going to have to remember this. Chains, paint. No, not paint. Chains, food, clothes. Maybe some fun things for the house.
We could get some paint, maybe, if we want
Well,
to.
I want to make badges.
Badges. Okay. Do you think they sell wood anywhere?
We have a garden. And there's chairs.
True. We could take a chair.
Why?
No, I'm just thinking, if you want to make badges, do you want them to be wooden badges, or do you want them to be sort of like metal badges?
Oh, I feel like metal would be difficult. I could make bone badges.
I don't.
They say before
They
looking
sell
around
that.
frantically. No, they won't sell it.
I don't think we can go to another graveyard, since that's how you got into this situation in the first place.
No, you're probably right. I just really was suppose. Okay, fine. We'll stick with wood, I suppose. Okay, so how about this as order of business, okay? First, we set up shop and we kind of busk a bit, try and get a bit more money so we have a bit more to spend. And what we make, okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to like look really like you're my child, okay? You are my son.
Right.
And we are needing, we need food. We need food to keep the upkeep of our house, okay? And I just
Right.
need you to be the cute appeal. Can you
Should
do
we
that?
buy a hat? People usually leave coins in hats.
We absolutely need a hat. Okay,
Okay.
that's the first order of business. First,
So we're
hat.
buying a hat to get more money.
Yes. It's worth the investment. Yes, absolutely. So, first step, buy a hat. Second step, you look cute, I play good. Third step, shopping. But, meanwhile, okay, Pim, I know you're really perceptive, okay? So,
Right.
it's not just to get money. I want you to keep an ear out. If you hear anything, any whispers of, dodgy dealings or, I don't think the Middle City they really talk about Flux much, but there's always a chance. And, okay, and I kind of like shuffle Pim off to an alleyway before we get to the main market area, and I say, I need you to know that there is every chance people may be talking. Don't look away.
I figured.
Yeah? Okay? Know that I love you. Okay? And I know that you didn't do that on purpose. Sometimes things happen. And sometimes we lose control of ourselves. And you said to me that you were going to hold my hand through it and that I was home. I'm going to hold your hand through it and you're home. I'm not going to let anything happen to you.
Okay.
Okay? So, whatever they say, if someone says something like really mean, I'm gonna scare the shit out of them. You just give me a look. Okay? Maybe a bit more subtle look. Just like a... Perfect. Okay, so we'll do that.
Okay.
Everyone's got to play till 11, right? Because this
I'm
is
ready
amazing.
to sit back and watch this show, man.
Yeah, me too. This is great.
Okay, yeah. And then, also, what I'll do is I'll keep, like, regularly casting, that message spell I can do?
Yeah.
Whilst I'm playing, so that if you need to talk to me, just telepathically relay what people are saying. We can do it that way, so that way you don't have to remember it all, because I hate remembering conversations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic. Hat.
Hat.
And holding his hand, we
Yep.
go in search of a hat.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, dude. Now,
Nice.
now you're playing D&D.
D&D, baby.
This is great. I feel like I'm there. This is amazing. So you
Oh,
go
it's
off
my turn.
in search of a hat salesman, and
Yeah, we do.
you wander around the market for a good 20 minutes until you hear Pim. You hear hats. Come get your hats. We got hats for all sizes. Big heads, small heads. No heads at all. Hats to fit every occasion, whether it's a wedding, a funeral, or you're just looking good. Come and get your hats. And you immediately make a beeline for this individual, and they point directly at you, Pim, and go, "Hey, you look like you're a man of style, and I like the way that you're cutting your jib, man. How about we get you some Swifty headwear to keep that bonnet warm? What kind of hat do you think that you would wear, man? Look, I think we could get, hey, look, we got hats of all styles, all shapes, all sizes. We got cowboy hats, bowler hats, flat caps. We got hey, look, we got hats that don't actually exist, but hey, they don't cost nothing. You just tell me what you want to rock, and you'll be rocking, baby."
You sell imaginary hats?
"Oh yeah, and you know what? They're free. Want one? Here." And he mimics putting one in your head. "Oh, you are rocking that, girl. Oh yeah. Look.
Do you have a top hat?
Oh, top hats? Yeah. You going to a fancy shindig? I got a hat just for you. First, I got to get the shape of your head. Just hold on. I'm just gonna touch your head. Don't scream." And he kind of like puts his
I
like.
Pull
Like,
in.
no. As soon as he does that, he literally just goes, "Look, man, consent's everything, right? Hey!" And kind of like goes back to his hat stall, picks up a top hat, and he puts it on, and it's the perfect size. Like, immediately as it slots onto your head, it's like millimeter perfect. Like, he's like, "I've been at this a long time, man. I got an eye for these things. Hey, yo, if you want that swanky hat, that's gonna cost you." Hey, look, I like you two, right? And I don't usually do this, but hey, you can have that for 15 gold pieces.
I'm gonna look really sad. Like,
Hey,
really sad.
Hey,
I know.
Hey,
It's
look.
a bit more than your pocket money, but we can find you something else.
Okay.
Oh, hey, no, little man. Look, it's all sunshine and rainbows, buddy. He picks up the top hat up and he goes, "Hey, look, it's all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right back here, and it's got your name on it. Whenever you got enough pocket money, you come back and you see old Jim Bob, and he'll make sure that you are absolutely A-OK in the hat department. All right?"
And I thought Dad would really like me wearing this hat to his funeral. Oh well. And I'm just gonna walk away sulking.
Oh, good, buddy. Oh, look, I'm sorry for your loss, ma'am, but you doing anything Saturday night?
Kiria's just going, "I don't know what day it is."
Oh, look, sweetheart, it can be any day you want it to be, as long as it ends in Y, am I right?
Sure. Do you have, listen, Timmy really set his heart out on getting a lovely hat for, his late dad's passing. Is there anything you can do that's slightly cheaper, or?
Oh, look, I get it. You got a lot of expenses, like you got stuff you gotta put. I get it, man. Headstones ain't cheap, right? Look, I'll see what I can do. It might not be a top hat, but I'll do what I can, all right?
I think just something black would be nice. Just, respectful.
Yeah, of course. Look, I might just have just the thing. And look, it's quite special as well. I might put a smile on his face for the day. All right?
Good.
All right, you just give me a sec. And he starts rustling around in a cardboard box, like that are under the market store, like tables. And he pulls out a cap with like a little stick in it with one of those fucking things that spin round on the top of the hat. Like, not spin round that way, it's not like an airplane hat, but it's got one of the little fucking fan things like on the top of the cap. And he's like, "Hey, look, the kid's clearly down, he's sad, I get it. This will put a smile on his face, and it's 5 gold pieces, all right?"
Oh. You see, like, him notices Kiria kind of go like, "Well, how about we make it 2 gold pieces and I take you out for dinner on Saturday?"
Hey, look at you, the bounce back queen, I like it. Sure. As one door slams shut in your face, another window opens, and he just kind of turns around and
I'd just like to clarify, his father and I were separated for a while. I'm not that heartless.
Oh, all right. 2 gold pieces and a date on Friday night. How's that?
That sounds great.
Fantastic. And he puts his hand out.
A little drip of sweat.
Yeah. And as you put the gold pieces in his hand, he grabs you by the hand, kisses the back, and he goes, "You can call me Jim."
Thank you, Jim. I'll be seeing you. Should I
Oh, yeah, you will, but not before I see you.
Okay, well, it was, bye now.
Yeah. And as you go to walk away, he goes, hey, do it slowly.
Oh no! So gross.
Grim, the fucking sleazy hat salesman of Wyndmere. He's first on the death list, right? Like, he's top of it. Like,
he's on the list.
like, I'm sure he was behind the whole betrayal thing personally. Like, I think it was Jim Bob.
Hey, when can I transform again, please?
What?
Yeah,
Give me a
there
second.
wouldn't happen to be a full moon happening right now, would there?
Somebody hit me. Drop me below half.
And as you're walking away, Jim Bob just begins his chant again. Hey, hats, come and get your hats. Hey, look, I probably made more money than all of these bozos. Come on, come get your hats.
I grab Pim's hand,
Yep.
I go to the nearest alleyway, and I visibly retch.
Valid.
Guidance.
Yep.
Guidance. Guidance.
Yeah, clear. That's. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, well, there we go. There's a hat.
And she presents you with a cap with a little spinny wheelie thing on it. Little fat, like, windmilly spinny. I don't know what the name of it's called. What's a pinwheel? There you go.
Pinwheel.
Yeah, a little pinwheel on
Perfect. Perfect. Now, I suggest we make money far away from that guy.
That would be nice.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, by the way.
It's fine. Do you think I have to go on a date?
No.
it. Yes. Yes, you fucking do. Like,
Can't you transform into, like, a spectral thing?
Yes.
So you can literally ghost him.
Hey! Nice, Pim. You can have inspiration. That was sick.
Hell
That
yes.
was so good.
Hell yes. I really hope not, because I've never been on a date, and I would really rather it not be with that guy.
No, it's fine. You don't need to go on any dates.
Okay.
By the way, you don't look like yourself right now.
No, I don't. Phew, okay. That's a relief. Right. Away from there, please.
Yes. This way.
Just start dragging her.
Yeah,
The other way.
back into another area of the market.
Yep.
No problem. So what is the plan now? You're going to start busking for a bit?
Yeah, so basically set up shop so that I've kind of got a cloak on the ground, put the hat on top of it, have Pim kind of near, like, right in front of me, like, looking cute, and I am gonna take out, I think the only semi-functional instrument I really have is my pan flute.
Yep.
Because everything else is either a kazoo which I don't think will attract much.
It's functional.
I actually think I've only got the pan flute and a kazoo because
Okay.
music instruments are expensive. So I am gonna start. Well, first of all, I'll just tug my earrings a little bit, and there's this like background harmony of what to me sounds like my mother playing, like in my ears, and then I begin to play.
Amazing. Make me a performance check, please.
I get advantage because of the earrings. Bosh.
Let's go.
Sorry.
You still have a guidance, by the
I
way.
do. I do.
Make that money.
26.
Oh!
God damn.
You start playing your pan flute, and you're playing it for a while, and passers-by, and Pim, you're kind of like the one holding the hat as you're like next to Kyria. Timothy, make me a perception check, please. But while this is playing, passers-by throw a couple of coins into the hat. How long do you plan on playing for, Kyria?
I'll do like a proper set, like
Set, good 40-minute, 45-minute
Yeah.
set. Okay, so you begin this set, and you are like blasting these tunes out. Pim, you're kind of like you kind of like stand with the hat for a little while before putting the hat down, before you kind of like mingle in and around the people in that general area to see what you can pick up. What is your roll perception?
Question: if I use my inspiration, that I literally just got, do I need to roll that one with disadvantage again, or can I just do a regular roll?
If you use your inspiration, you can roll it flat, as in like
Okay.
I will let you negate the disadvantage by just rolling it flat if you want to use your inspiration and burn it, or you can use a hero die to negate the disadvantage if you want.
True, I'm gonna use a hero die.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. By all means, then just use a flat roll and mark off one of your hero die, please.
Oh, that's cocked. That's an 18 plus 6, 24.
24. So there are a few different conversations that you pick up. Most of it just kind of like mundane chit chat between, like, Justin, put down that bread roll. I've told you 4 fucking times. Like there's just, wait till we get home. I'm going to tell your father. That kind of like, market stall stuff, people haggling over prices. But you do hear something quite interesting. Nothing flux related, but you hear 2 individuals walking through the market, and one turns, like quite slowly meandering through, and one turns to the other and goes, yeah, well, I'll never, I reckon we'll be both dead and buried before he gets it in the air. Well, yeah, you're not wrong. He's been out there weeks working on it. That thing's been out there for a while. And he's like, well, look, old Greybeard, he's a man of dedication and he's honing his craft. And look, he's quite clearly sinking his life savings into getting up in the air again, but, it'll never fly. No, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. But if he does, and he does get it in the air, do you know how much money he'll make back? The guy will be able to retire and, somewhere far, far from here. Yeah, well, that's it, yeah, but... It is what it is, man. I mean, I don't think he'll get it up there, personally. There's so much work that needs doing to it, but, before, it's been there a long time, it's an earlier model, but it's a beauty. It's a beauty. Do you remember where, honestly, if you'd have seen that soaring across the skyline of Wyndmere, honestly, crowds would gather. You're not wrong. But, there's plenty of work that needs doing to it. So it's quite clearly gone wrong, with the full thing. Like, a ship that size, it doesn't just crash land over no reason. Do you reckon it was a battle or what? Well, I don't know, but, and this conversation continues on as they pass you by. Kyria.
Yes.
You are playing the pan flute for around half an hour.
Yeah.
And you are deep in your fucking feels, man. The rhythmical melodies, you are feeling it, man.
I think at some point
vibing.
After about 20 minutes, of the happy-go-lucky kind of vibe, Kyria's so in the zone of the music that they begin to play a bit more of a not discordant, but it sounds like it's almost fueled with rage for a bit before they collect themselves and return to the standard melody.
As you are getting into that more you saying rage filled kind of a bit more of a rocky, high tempo punky.
But
as you're doing this and in your head you've got the backing melody, but out of nowhere you hear diddle-a-ling, which is the very clear strums of a guitar literally about 10 feet away from you, as you kind of open your eyes and you see another individual about 10 feet away from you looking at you, who has just themselves put their own blanket and cap down, and they are as you start getting a bit more punky, they're like and as you two are like it's almost like a fucking battle, like a pan flute versus guitar battle. As you kind of drop it down, he picks up the same kind of melody, and he's like bum 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 bum, and you're like
I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
Is he getting more money than we are currently?
Oh, well, I'm getting to that, because as you two are and there's this awesome musical battle happening, in the middle of the market of Wyndmere, a small crowd starts to gather, and as the music goes back and forth, the heads just go poof, poof, and you see that people are like starting to dance and tap the feet. You jump down, you like step off the blanket, and Pim's like right near the thing, clapping like the pace of the beat, and you two are like dun, 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 dun. Like it's going for about another 10-15 minutes until that melody comes to its crescendo at the end, like dun, 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 and the whole crowd erupts in claps and cheer, and you know the individual just back like nods their head to you, and there is coins being dropped in both hats, and they fling the guitar over their shoulder, pick up their hats, tuck the blanket under there, and walk over to you and go, "Very well done. That was extremely enjoyable," and tips their hat into yours and puts the hat on their head, and as you do, the little label comes down from the side of the hat, says Jim Bob's Hats, as he puts his hat on his head, and he just goes, "Very well done. That was wonderful. Thank you. We should do that again sometime." And you see that this is you see that this individual is a human, kind of like very early 20s, if not like just getting into the mid 20s. You see that they have this like mop of like brown hair, neatly like brushed. They're wearing like what appears to be this very like ornate maroony colored jacket with like very wide kind of half pants that like go down, like very Victorian-esque, like go down into like very long socks, and kind of like fling, very minstrel-esque, right? Bangs the guitar over the shoulder, and you go, "Oh, it's Kira," and he goes, "Pleasure to meet you. My name is Archibald."
Archie. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I've not really seen many guitars around. Where did you get that?
No, I made this. You see, I couldn't quite get the melody that I wanted from a traditional lute, and my father handed me down one, but I'm a carpenter by trade, and I came up with a design that I thought was good, and this is like the 8th iteration of and this is my best work. But
it's
yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, I hope to go into the the instrument making business, and
I've been wanting to carve my own instrument for a while as well, so it's reassuring to see that it's possible.
It takes time and takes a lot of hard work, but if you put your mind to it, like my father said, you can do anything. Just keep the dream alive and keep doing what you're doing, because that was really good. You should ask around. You should, you could probably get a few, gigs in a few of the taverns, make some real money,
I'm eyeing this fucker up and down.
Good boy. Good boy, Pim.
Yeah.
Good boy.
I'm like a guard dog.
Yeah. So
like
you're like
stuff just waiting to pounce.
a foot or two away from Kyria as you're having this discussion with Archibald, and he just goes, "Well, it was lovely to meet you. Take care. We'll see you soon." And you take care, little man. And he literally ruffles your head, like your hair on top of your head, and begins to walk off. So
It's nice. How much did we get?
I don't know. Let me check. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
4.
Let's go. We're in profit. 3 means we're in profit. Let's go.
Yeah. So you count the gold pieces out, and you have made 23 gold pieces, 16 silver pieces, and about 46 copper pieces.
Hell yeah. I've doubled my money. I'm more than happy.
More than that.
Did you say 26 silver?
23
silver.
16 silver, 46 copper. So, Kyria and Pim, you pack up your instruments and your hats and your the the cloth bit that you put on the floor, and you go out round the marketplace to start shopping. Based on what you mentioned earlier, I will say that you managed to go to a fruit and veg shop. You managed to... Oh, let me just turn this bit down. It's a bit too loud there. Fruit and veg shop. You go to a butcher that's got some meats out. You go and you manage to get like a few bits of paint, only like small little pots of it. Total spend is going to be 25 gold.
25 gold. Okay.
Yeah, but you get enough, enough fruit and veg and meat and bread sorts and, like pastas and things like that. Enough that you are safe in the assumption that you could feed you guys for at least a few days. Enough paints. You also managed to find this little stall that is selling like wood carved, like like fucking ashtrays and like pens, and that kind of store, the boutique fucking.
I'm gonna get an ashtray for Eddie.
Yeah, cool. So I'm just gonna say it's gonna be 25 gold tops for everything you buy. You get some paintbrushes. You get Pim managed to get like 2 small trays, one with like a starter set of herbs. So like 1 rose coriander, 1 rose like sage, one of them, and then you get another small tray of just like like bedding plants. So you get some herbs and what have you, and a small tray of bedding plants to go and plant in the back garden. You managed to find Pim, you managed to find that there's the clothing shop, and Pim, obviously you're quite small, so you managed to get a new outfit for yourself, and this is all within the 25 gold pieces realm. Is there anything else, like odds and ends, that you'd like to try and buy? Kyria, you managed to get a brand new chisel. Like a wood carving chisel, like brand new, like it's one of those like dudes that sells like, like fuck it, instead of like Stanley, it's like Manly, like knockoff fucking tools, but you get a brand new chisel.
Nice.
It's got a pack of 20 lighters as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That kind of dude.
Pick, not Bic.
Yeah. Guy who's just selling like 100 pens, but they're like just half-used pens that have got an elastic band around them. Like, that kind of shit. You managed to find another couple of bits that I'll add to your thing. You managed to find a couple of quills. You will find quills. You managed to find a ream of standard parchment. You managed to find a traditional like kitchen stuff, like oils and salt, pepper, bit of stuff for cooking, that you're gonna need, cheap ingredients, stuff that stuff like that. You managed to find a few like a couple. You managed to get yourself a broom for cleaning of the house as well. It's a non-magical broom. I will make that very, very clear.
Damn it.
And a few other bits and pieces that you need, like like dishcloths, shit like that you're gonna need for the house. Like legitimately, like the stuff that you're gonna find in a market store, right?
We basically went to IKEA.
Well,
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, you went to
more like a pound shop.
Yeah.
we went to Poundland, yeah.
Yeah, essentially. But you managed to just get loads of bits and pieces for the house. Toothbrushes, like the essential stuff, right? Like if you move into a new house and you just like like a fucking, I'm gonna buy
toilet
that
roll.
bloody toilet roll, that kind of stuff, right? So for 25 gold you get, and even if like you just get the stuff for the house, I'm just gonna say, right?
2 things. I would like to get chains, iron chains.
Okay.
A lock, and if possible, a herbalism kit.
Okay, yeah, you can get all 3 of them. How when you say chains, you could get iron chains. Like they're not going to be like the chains you would find at the end of manacles attached to a wall in a prison cell. They're going to be the chains that you would attach to your wall that you could attach your dog to in the back garden.
Like a bike chain.
Yeah. That kind of chain type deal.
Spools of chain.
Yeah, if so, I would probably get like a couple of them.
Okay, fine. I'm
So
gonna
like,
say...
if I can't get the thick ones, I'm gonna get a larger amount to sort of.
Okay. I'm going to say that's probably going to be a couple of gold for the lock, herbalism kit, 5 gold, 7. Let's call it 22 gold pieces.
For all of that? Or just
for all of it.
Okay, cool.
For all of it. Okay? Excellent. Is there anything else you guys want to buy while you're there? Anything specific?
I think to be honest, Kyria is, I think the one thing that if they see it, they will not actively think to look for it, but like just like a news bulletin, like from like a
a paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can buy one of them. That's no problem.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
One of them.
Cool. As you all, apart from Edivir and Liana, who are heading over to the property in the lower area of the city, I assume that Kyria, Pim, Virgil, you're all heading back to the house.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So as you all start heading in your different directions, we're going to call this session to an end. We'll pick this up next week, when we will be back for more Aerilon, A Destined Journey. I've had a lot of fun tonight. This has been great.
Oh man, it's been so good.
This has been a great little session.
I've had that whole going back and fucking with Burhan thing in my mind since session 0.
That was great.
This guy has screwed me over. I'm gonna get him back so bad.
Chris did message me. He was just like, I'm really liking the sneakiness between our two characters again. I was like, yeah, feathers and clovers the back, dude.
Yeah. Straight up.
That is fair. That is fair. But we'll call that where it is, guys. Thank you, everyone at home, for being with us this evening and watching this session. It's been a really fun session for us to play and DM and stuff. This will be going, if you haven't caught all of it and you want to catch up, you can find that on YouTube. We upload every single Sunday around 6 p.m. The link to our YouTube is down in the About section, but if you don't want to watch the videos, then we upload podcasts wherever you catch your pods twice a week, where we break our sessions down into 2 sections. You can find it on like Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music as well. So if you want to listen to it in podcast form, then by all means go and search us out and you can find it on there. We will be back.
And those days are?
So that's Thursday and Sunday as well that you can find those episodes launching. But if you go onto wherever you search for your podcasts and just click follow and notification, then you're going to get notified every time they drop. Same with YouTube. So we will be back next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Thank you very much, everyone, for sticking with us this evening. And we love you. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.